Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Total Drama Island reaction Naruto. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by BLACKHEART0009 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Inside an old theater with the curtains closed where group of 21 teens were entering the room with snacks they gathered from the room beforehand which was provided for them. "Oh my god, I can't believe we were invited to a movie premiere," one teen exclaimed as she sat down next to her best friend. The first teen was a blonde bombshell of a girl and the second looked like a geeky farmer girl. "Me neither," the farmer girl admitted. "I wonder what it will be." "What do you think, Lindsay?" "Not a clue, Beth," Lindsay said, trying to think. "I hope it is a fairy tale. I love fairy tales. Please, like they would let us watch one of those," said a different girl, which caused both girls to frown. "How would you know, Heather?" Beth asked. "Because I doubt they would ask the entire cast of Total Drama Island to a movie premiere that is legit," Heather informed, then thumbing over her shoulder. "This smells like a setup by Chris." Lindsay and Beth looked and saw Heater was right. They saw loving large Owen talking to crazy Izzy while carrying as much snacks as his arms can carry. Trent was talking to Cody, Harold and Justin. Gwen looked bored walking in with Courtney and Duncan. Eva was holding a lot of snacks for herself while Katie and Sadie were talking to themselves and giggling like that. Justin was looking at himself while Tyler was tripping and making a mess out of the popcorn. They saw all the rest taking their seats waiting, or in Owen's case snacking on the snacks, filling the seats on either side of him. They saw that everyone was here except for one. "Hey, what's his name?" Lindsay tried to remember the missing member's name. "Ethan." "Ether." She then snapped her finger, not seeing Beth about to correct her. "Oh, I know. Gollum." The bookworm of the group, Noah, laughed as he passed them. "No, that's not his name, but it might as well be." Lindsay looked confused, but they all stopped as a spotlight appeared on the stage in front. They waited and most scowled if not frowned, seeing Chris McLean walking on stage dressed like he usually does when he was hosting. "Hello, former camper. Glad you all can make it." "Yeah, right," Duncan said, crossing his arms. "I should have known something like this would happen. It's been over a year since you made a new Total Drama whatever. What is it this time? Total Drama reunion?" He got calm laughs from the other cast member, even if they were slightly worried. Chris, however, waved his hand. No, nothing like that. Not that I haven't tried, but the producers haven't agreeing on the next season. I've been pitching for Total Drama Planet, where you all and the rest of the cast would be filmed in space." Chris laughed while the rest looked frightened. "Oh, come on people, lighten up. There is no new season of Total Drama, but here's hoping." "Then why are we here?" Jeff asked, getting nodded. Lindsay took a sip of her drink. "I thought we were here to watch a movie." "Oh, you will be watching something, but trust me, it will be better than a movie." Chris cleared his throat. "We will be watching our Total Drama adventures, but..." "Hell no." Duncan cried, standing up, and he was not the only one. "I am not sitting here to see what fools we were for your amusement." "I wasn't finished," Christ muttered, before he cried, "Oh chef." Before Duncan could make it to the exit, the door was kicked open and Chef stood in all his glory, growling in Duncan's face. The teen looked at the scary-looking chef towering over him and he went back to his seat as the others sat down. "Thank you," Chris muttered. "You all just listen and then you can leave." "Really?" Lashana asked, not believing him. "We actually get a choice to leave afterwards." "Yes you do, but trust me, you wouldn't want to miss this," Chris said before he went on from before. "Now it is not the Total Drama you all know, this is different." "How?" Cody asked. Chris smirked and tossed something up to the crowd. Tyler caught it before it hit Cody's face and took a look at it with the other around him. "What a dramatic life," he asked, reading the title of the DVD season pack he was holding. "What's that?" "And who that?" Cody asked, pointing to a guy they never seen before next to Heather on the cover. Heather raised a brow, seeing how close the boy was to her, and for some reason she felt like her picture was not doing anything to stop him hugging her and Bridget. "You see, that is a different version of Total Drama Island. That new guy also stars and he is a reason for a ton of changes." "But we never seen this guy before," Trent said, looking at the back of the DVD pack. "Directed and produced by Mew. Never heard of him." "Actually, Mew stands for Harold," was stopped by Chris, throwing a bag of popcorn at the nerd. "Anyways, Chef and I checked out the first few episodes and trust me when I say this is epic. But we decided why we should have all the fun, so we brought back the season 1 cast to see the whole first season where everything is turned upside down." Heather scoffed and got up. "Please, it is probably all CGI to make our faces the same. I'm out of here." Chris, however, smirked. "But Heather, this guy knows you pretty well." Heather actually paused by the door, so Chris went on. "This guy is actually an important person to you. Very important." "Yeah, right," Heather muttered with her hand on the door. "Do you want to risk it?" Chris asked. I'm sure some stuff will turn up and you won't be here to stop everyone from seeing. Heather paused but turned to Chris, and if I stay they would still get to see other people's secrets as well to keep them from going too far. Heather thought it over before she walked back to her seat. Well, I'm already here and I got free snacks, so get on with it. Now you might be interested but I'm not. Duncan once again got up to leave, but also others like Courtney, Gwen, DJ, Noah, and several more. Chris then pulled his final card. Look, just watch the first episode or two. Then you can leave all you want. I'll even throw in a reward for all those that stayed throughout the whole season. Dude, we aren't part of your show anymore, Trent said looking at the host. You can't bribe us with rewards that might not be any good. Alright, but do you want all the rest of the campers to know everything about you here? Chris asked and a few stopped. You're already here and got free snacks so you might as well enjoy. Do we get free refills? Owen asked hoping that would be the reward. Chris glared at Owen slightly. You all only get one refill of drinks and snacks, then you have to pay for your own. He knew he could not afford Owen's stomach for free, let alone over 20 teenagers. Where did you get it anyways? Noah asked as the rest were either sitting or trying to decide to stay or not. Oh. Izzy cried as she waved her hand. It is a gift from the gods in an entirely separate dimension who wish to bring us awesome new shows to watch and even go give us mutant powers to all those to watch it in. No, Chris interrupted Izzy. Our crack research team found technology that lets us peek into other realities, and with said technology, we're able to record this little bit of viewing pleasure at the cost of many enters too. Actually, Chef interrupted, getting everyone's attention much to Chris's displeasure. I found it in a box I got from a storage unit I bought at an auction. I was surprised but showed it to Chris, and after watching some of it we came up with the idea to show all you maggots. You buy storage units? Cody asked before he jumped back into DJ's arms as an scary looking Chef got into his face. Cool, Cody said timidly. There are many manly men who buy storage units. That's what I thought you said, Chef muttered with a huff. Katie and Sadie looked at one another. It could be fun, Katie suggested. Like totally, Sadie agreed, and the boy seems cute. I know, Katie squealed with her friend, maybe he will become one of our boyfriend. The others covered their ears as they squealed again. I feel sorry for the sucker that dates either of them. Lashana muttered. Oh yeah, Justin nodded, one can only handle so much squealing. The rest were pausing as they looked at the cover of the DVD. He does look friendly, Bridget added, seeing how her counterpart was smiling hugging the boy, even though he was hugging Heather. In fact, unless she was imagining it, the Heather on the cover seems to be glaring at her and Gwen at the same time, but Gwen was explainable. Yeah, he does, Jeff agreed, he always look like he's up for a party. The others looked conflicted, but slowly one by one they started to see down. Oh, what the hell, Duncan muttered as he sat down next to Courtney. But there better not be any surprises for us here. The only surprises here will be from the show itself, Chris grinned as he moved up to sit at the top row with Chef. Well then, let's get this show on the road. The curtain rose up and the movie screen was behind it. The screen came alive as the show started. The cast wondered how this strange show will be and if it will be different at all from their own. The cast was quiet as the screen filled with life as a strange scene before them, one they were not expecting. My little Naruchani want you to listen to me, okay? A red-haired boy nodded with a sniffle as he looks up to read woman in bed. Please protect your precious honest kind to everyone you meet, and most important thingy want you to promise me that. What is this? Heather cried out. I thought we were going to be watching us. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Chris started sipping his drink. Sometime flashbacks are shown like this one. No idea how or why, but it seems awesome. Heather grumbled as she went back to the screen. Naruto. Wake up, idiot. He can feel someone shaking him roughly. Get up now. Ugh, I'm up. Naruto yawned before turning his head to his best friend, He-chan. Are we almost there? Yeah, there was a pause, and don't call me He-chan. Was that Heather? Gwen asked, recognizing that voice that was shaking the newly dubbed Naruto. I think it was, Trent added. Duncan chuckled, as did several other guys. He-chan. The guys laughed loudly before Duncan got a drink thrown at his head. Heather scowled, crossing her arms, and sat down after her throw. The total drama island. At the dock, a man in his mid-30s smiled at the camera with a grin. Yo. We're coming at you live from Camp Wawankwa. I'm your host, Chris McLean. He paused to let it sink in before speak up, dropping season 1 of the hottest new reality show on television right now. Oh yeah, that's one hot show, and it was the host that made it the hottest. The other made all sort of noises of disagreement at Chris's claim, and even Chef shook his head. Chris walks down the dock as if he was on a stroll. Here's a deal, 23 campers have signed up to spend 8 weeks right here at this crummy old summer camp. He halts his stroll in front of the camp sign. They'll compete in challengers against each other, then have to face the judgments of their fellow campers. Chris paused for a bit. Every 3 days, one team will either win a reward or watch of their team member walk down the dock of shame and take a ride on the loser ship, never come back ever. He grinned, gesturing at the dock. Cough BS cough. Duncan coughed in his hand at that claim. The others nodded as they know some of the guests will be back. Campfire site. Their fate will be decided here at the dramatic campfire ceremonies. Chris thumbed at the campfire site, where all but one camper will receive a marshmallow. He grabbed a stick with marshmallow and take a bite before tosses it away. In the end, only one will be left standing and will be rewarded with cheesy tabloid fame and a small fortune. Chris pulls a treasure crest out of nowhere before whispered to the camera with a light chuckle, let's face it, they will blow it off in a week or so. Dock. Chris returned to the dock. Every moment will be caught on one of hundreds of cameras situated all over the camp. Who will crumble under the pressure? Find out here right now. He takes a deep breath as he pointed at the camera with a grin. Total Drama Island. Theme song. What did I miss? Tyler asked as he sat back down. It turned out Heather threw his soda and he went back for another one. Nothing important, Noah stated as the song played out, just Chris talking before we even arrived. The intern behind camera gave Chris a signal, welcome back to Total Drama Island. He beamed, alright, it's time to meet our Vic-off, I mean campers. We told them they'd all be staying at a 5-star resort, Chris chuckled, so if they seem to be pissed off, that's probably why. As if it was on a cue, the ship just pulled up as Chris turned to face the first camper with his infamous grin, what's up Beth? The farmer girl suddenly tackles Chris with a squeal, causing him to give her a weird look, it's so incredulous to meet you. Beth blinked, wow, you're much shorter in real life. Chris pouts angrily as the cast all laughed hard. Oh I forgot I said that. Oh man, Justin gasped wiping a tear from his eye, I wished I saw there to hear that. Thanks. Chris muttered with raised eyebrow before glancing to see a giant Jamaican walking up to him with duffel bags and greeted him, DJ. Yo, Chris McLean. How's it going? DJ gave Chris a high five before glancing at the scene, hey, you sure you got the right place here? Where's the hot tub at? DJ asked the host, only to hear him confirming that it was the right place. Look a lot different on form he muttered, carrying his bags to other side of dock while glancing around. Man we really got played, DJ muttered getting nods all around. Hey Gwen. The goth girl sighed. You mean we're staying here? Gwen jerked her head at the rundown cabins. Chris chuckled, oh, yeah. By the way, my crib is this trailer with AC. Way to rub it in, Gwen muttered. Oh, I love this part coming up, Chris said elbowing Chef's arm. I didn't sign up for that. She growled. Actually, you did. Chris smirked, proudly presenting the contact before Gwen grabbed it and tore it in half. Good thing about Lawyer is that they make a lot of copies. Chris and Chef laughed hard at this part, but to the displeasure of the others. Gwen growled again before picks up her bags. I'm not staying here. You sure? That mean you have to swim back since your boat just left. There was sound of boat honking as it left the island. Great, Gwen muttered with sarcasm as another boat pulled up with a cowboy in pink shirt doing some kind of dance before he flipped off the boat. Bossip, Chris. It's an honor to meet you, man. The cowboy greeted with fist bump. Jeff stir. Welcome to the island, man. Jeff grinned, man. If they say man one more time, I'm gonna puke. Gwen whispered to DJ and Beth, earning some concerned looks from them. Sorry, Jeff muttered looking sheepish and Gwen waved him off. Chris looks at the dock again before introducing the new camper to other campers, everyone, that is Lindsay. The blonde bombshell waved to everyone with a smile, not too shabby, Chris whispered to the camera as Lindsay walked up to Chris. You look so familiar. Lindsay pointed at Chris as he grins at her. I'm Chris McLean. She blinked and stares at him with quizzical expression on her face, the host of this show. Lindsay, Beth sighed before she turned to said friend, don't ever change. Not even my hair or clothes? Lindsay asked getting eye rolls. Oh, that's where I know you from. Chris blinked with dumbfounded expression on his face as he stares at Lindsay walk to the group before muttering something about not bright. He turns around to see 2 teenagers stepped on the dock, Heather and Naruto. The queen bee and her childhood friend. Wow, you two are friend, Owen said pointing to the new guy. It must be nice to have someone you know come with you onto the island. Shut up Owen, Heather muttered eyeing Naruto slightly stunned that he was actually her childhood friend. Heather scoffed as she shoves Chris out of her way, this idiot is not my childhood friend. Look like she's on a warpath, haha. Chris smirked as he turns to Naruto, looking over him. He stand at 5'8" feet and wearing an orange t-shirt with red spiral on his chest and a blue jean over orange sneakers, which must be customized since Chris was sure that there was no orange sneakers to his knowledge, but what made him stand out was his spiky shoulder-length crimson hair, azure blue eyes and 3 lines on his cheeks like whiskers. Chris noticed that there was some kind of necklace on his neck, but it was hiding under his shirt. Yeah, it's how he-chan is, Dadabeo. Naruto chuckled, rubbing his head as he picked up his orange duffel bags. You'd really love the orange, Jeff said with a laugh. But it works for him though, Lindsay added with a smile, maybe a bit more red, and he would look perfect. Whoa, whiskers look awesome, Izzy said with a grin. It makes him look like a fox with those tattoos on his face. Duncan scoffed, thinking the whiskers were a dumb idea for a tattoo. This guy must really love orange, was what everyone besides Heather thinking as they look at him. Hope you will be on same team because I would hate to see what would happens between you two. Chris snickered, which I plan to do, haha. Naruto blinks as he takes a glance at Chris before shrugging. I guess so. He walks up to the group, taking notice that the farmer ran up to Heather and spitting something to her, Hajimemashite. Naruto gave everyone a widened grin. Huh? Owen asked before Harold replied, it's Japanese for he was stopped with some popcorn was dumped on his head by Duncan. We don't need you to explain anything, loser, let the new guy tell them. How do you know he will? Harold asked. A hunch, Duncan muttered with an eye roll. Huh? DJ scratched his head, glancing at other campers. He was kind of grateful that he was not only one confusing about his greeting. Ah, I mean nice to meet you. Sorry, sometime my Japanese would slip up. Naruto chuckled. Oh, no worry, man. Jeff grinned at Naruto. The red-haired teenager was about to say something, but a loud music cut him off as everyone looked at the source to see a punk standing on top of the speaker before leap off the boat. And here's the real star, Duncan added with a grin. But I'm not there yet, Harold pointed out, only to get hit by snacks from all around. Duncan, dude. Chris greeted the punk. I don't like surprises, Duncan threatened with a scowl, palmed his fist. Yeah, your parole officer warned me about that, man. Chris chuckled, he also told me to give him a holler anytime and have you sent back to juvie. Duncan shrugged, rolling his eyes, okay then. He picks up his bag and winked at Heather, meet you by the campfire, gorgeous. I'll rather date the idiot. Heather thumbed at Naruto. Really, he-chan? Naruto blinked at her. Wow, so forward, Bridget said with a laugh which had others laughing around her. Heather scowled at them as Lashana added, boy would be eaten alive in a week under her care. No, Heather. Lindsay cried out, don't eat him. He's cute. Idiot, Heather muttered to herself. Oh you hell no. Heather snarled as Naruto chuckled at her, I'm calling my parents now, Chris. You can't make me stay here. Someone in DENIAL sang Cody as he noticed the way Heather changed her mind fast. He cowered though as Heather growled at him. Chris grinned as he pulled out the contact and waved it around, meaning that she can't leave any time until it's about elimination. The ship shows up, pulling a skiing jock in red jumpsuit, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler. The said jock waved to everyone with one hand, but it caused him to have a wipeout and flew over the group's heads before landed into the suitcases. Everyone winced as they watch a suitcase flew into the air before splashing into the water, soaking Heather in process, wicked wipeout. Chris shouted to the jock before Tyler gives a thumb up from under the piles. Heather growled out, there too. You idiot ruined several of my shoes that day. Hey, buddy, you alright? Naruto pulled Tyler out, getting a nod and smile from the jock. The host chuckled at the sight of soaking Heather before a heavy breath cut him off, glancing right behind him to see a nerd with some kind of keyboard. Welcome to Camp Harold. Chris grinned while thinking that he was creepy for breathing so hard on his neck, who would do that side some of his fangirls. Harold stares blankly at Chris. That nerd is really starting to creep him out. What's he looking at? Beth asked the campers, only to get shrugs and a few shivers. Chris hopes that Harold was not checking him out. I was not. Harold cried out as the others laughed. You mean this show is at this crappy summer camp and not on some big stage? Harold questioned Chris, and nod was his reply, yes. That's more favorable to my mad skills. What skills? Duncan asked laughing as Harold glared at him. I hope one of his skills is not jerking off in random place, Naruto muttered lowly, gaining some chuckle from the campers. Were cries all around by the girls, and Harold blushed red as the boys laughed. And now contestant number 10, Trent. The host nods to the musician. Wish it was 9, whispered Trent, hey, Chris, just saw you on that figure skating show. Nice work. Trent and Gwen glanced at each other and looked away. Trent was nervous as his counterpart already was showing his OCD. I knew I rocked that show. Chris boasted as they pound fists. I saw that. Beth inputted, one of the guys dropped his partner on her head and they got immunity this week. Lucky. I wish I was dropped on my head. Harold said, earning a raised eyebrow from Naruto. Don't you have a plenty of these drops when you were baby? He smirked. Hey, Harold sighed at Naruto before receiving a pat on back from the retard. Sorry, Harold, I can't resist it. It's okay, I just walked into this one, I guess. Harold sighed again as Trent take his place next to Gwen before smile at her, causing the goth girl to turn away from him. Yeah, you did, String Bean, Lashana said. Gwen and Trent smiled at one another, recalling that day and how they acted back then. Hey, what's up? Naruto blinked before look up to see a surfer girl walk up to Chris with her board. Wait, is that orange on her board? Alright. Our surfer chick, Bridget, is here. Yeah, nice board, Duncan scoffed. It aren't Malibu, honey. I thought we were going to be at beach. Bridget asked. Chris points at the polluted beach with a grin. We are. Oh, poor seagull. Naruto stares at the seagull that somehow gets stuck with plastic soda holders before the water pull the bird away from the beach. Not what I had in mind, Bridget muttered, a bit disappointed. She was not able to use her board at all the whole trip there. Great. Bridget seems to be disappointed after seeing the polluted beach before bend down to pick up her bag, unawake that she just hit the host in head with her board. Ow, darn it. That hurt. Chris groaned, rubbing his sore head. I hope it doesn't bruise. My poor pretty face. Man, why couldn't I've seen that? Chef asked, getting a glare from Chris. Hi, I'm Jeff. Jeff greeted Bridget with eagerness in his tone as Bridget turned to him, swinging the board. It was lucky that the boys duck under it. Watch the board. Harold whined. Hi, I'm Beth. The farmer waved as the campers ducks again. You really have an awesome board. Naruto chuckled. It was kind of fun to see everyone ducking under Bridget's board and she never even noticed. Thank. Bridget smiled. I also like your dyed hair. Naruto blinked before rubbing his head with chuckle. Actually, it's my natural color. As soon as he said that, everyone blinked before turned to him. Really? Harold asked aloud. Isn't he, like, Asian though? He got shrugs all around as they were not sure how to answer that. Seriously? I never have ever seen an Asian with natural crimson hair. Gwen raised one of her eyebrows. DJ nods his head behind the goth girl. It's true. He got it from his mother. Heather deadpanned. She is starting to get tired of telling people that Naruto's red hair is natural. Wow, you really are his childhood friend, Beth said, amazed that anyone would be friends with Heather and for so long. Girl's right, Lashana said, getting a glare from Heather. Only a childhood peep can know something like that. Whatever, Heather muttered, wishing they would finish already. Well, I still think it's awesome. Bridget smirked at Naruto. I agree with her. Lindsay waves her hand in air. Okay, now we met the surfer girl and confirmed Naruto's natural color. Can we please get on with the show? Heather growled, squeezing the water out of her hair. Did someone miss their double cappuccino macchiato this morning? Duncan smirked as Harold snickered. Yeah, she did. Kind of my fault. Duncan slowly turns to Naruto with widened eyes. Seriously? I was your Kingwo. I'm liking this guy, Duncan said with a smirk, and others nodded as well. Idiot, stop telling them things. Heather growled, holding up her hands as if she wants to strangle someone's neck. The host winced as he touched his head. He just missed something that the campers was talking, and he hoped that someone got it on camera. What if it was a drama? Our next camper is Noah. You got my memo about my allergies? The bookworm asked the host. I'm sure someone did. He already got it, but he tosses it in the trash can just before the show. I shouldn't be surprised, Noah muttered, but thankful he got out early and didn't get anything to affect his allergies that he was sure he would have faced them later on. Wonderful, Noah said sarcastically. Is that where we will stay at? No, it's your mother's place and we're throwing a party. Duncan palmed his fist. Unnoticed to everyone, Naruto was about to say something, only to end up getting slapped upside the head by Heather. Heather rolled her eye, knowing the correctly dubbed by her idiot would have gotten the sarcasm. Cute. Nice piercings, original. Did you do it yourself? Noah deadpanned before Duncan grabs his lips with his hand. Yeah, you want one? No thank. Can I have my lips back, please? Duncan released him with a grin. Thank. What's up, y'all? Lashana's in the house. Everyone look up to see a black teenager waving at them, and they can hear Harold gasping at her. Hey baby, how you do? She give Chris a high five. Feel free to quit now and save yourselves troubles. She teased the campers as the campers chuckled at her jokes. Give me some sugars, brother. Lashana raised her hand to DJ as he replied back with high five. I've never seen a girl like you in my life before. Harold bubbled. Excuse me? You're real big and loud. What did you just said to me? I'll get the shovel. Naruto whispered to Noah. The bookworm smirked as everyone winced at Lashana yelling at Harold before Bridget and DJ hold Lashana back. Lashana laughed here as she forgave Harold for the stupid comment long ago, but hearing Naruto with that was too much. It wasn't that bad, gosh, Harold muttered, not seeing others shake their heads at him. Haha, we got a drama going on. Chris chuckled, rubbing his hands. He can smell the paychecks coming in, but he better stop them since they were going to waste the time and save drama for later. Settle down, campers. Save it for later. The host shouted at them. Lashana huffed as she glared at Harold while fixing herself up. Chris walks up to two new campers in matching clothes. Ladies. Katie, Sadie. Welcome to your new home for 8 weeks. Oh, my gosh. Look. It's a summer camp. Katie gushed to Sadie. I always wanted to go to summer camp. E. The cast covered their ears, even Katie and Sadie. How are they so loud here? Justin asked. What? Owen shouted his question, unable to hear. Up at the top, Chris and Chef snickered to one another, both wearing large headphones, and Chris turned the volume down again. Which one are Katie and Sadie? Naruto asked Trent. I'm not sure, he responded with a shrug. Both girls gasped, looking at Trent, who looked sorry as he smiled nervously at them. Chris rubbed his head before noticing the homeschooled farmer Ezekiel. What's up, man? I think I see a bird, eh? Trent snickered as everyone looked at Ezekiel with puzzled expression. I forgot how stupid he was, Eva muttered, taking a bit from her popcorn. That would imply that he's gotten smarter, Noah pointed out to Eva. The tough girl thought it over. Good point, she admitted, but he better not make another sexist comment like last time. That's a sucker's bet right there, DJ whispered to Jeff. Oh totally, agreed the party dude. Jude, I know you're homeschooled whole your life and don't get out much, but please don't say too much, okay? Ezekiel nodded with smile. For the first time, I worry about a teenager. That's just dumbo. Gwen shook her head, dumbfounded. Cody. The code stir. Cody flashed his gap grin as they high-fived. Psyche to be here, man. He strolls up to the female campers. I see the ladies have already arrived. He winked at them and everyone rolled their eyes. Smooth move, man, Jeff laughed, and Cody shrugged, knowing the teen was right. Cody turns around to say something to Lashana, but the sassy girl placed her finger on his lips. Save it, short stuff. Cody grinned at her before taking his place. Eva. Nice to see you here. The bodybuilder girl ignored her host and walked up to the camper with scowl. Cody decided to give her a high five, only to get her bag on his feet as he yelped. What's inside? Dumbbells. He whined. Yes. You really like to work out. Naruto blinks, watching Cody hopping on one foot. Yes. Woman, a few words. Yes. Duncan glances to DJ, she's all yours. No thanks, both DJ and Eva said, causing the two to look at one another. You're way too much of a softie and a mama's boy for my taste. Oh no problem, DJ admitted, glad she was not offended by his comment, you're way too tough for me anyways. Eva grunted, knowing it was true. Of course, in her opinion, a bunny would be too tough for DJ. Woo-hoo. Everyone jumped at the booming voice and turned to see the large teenager. Chris, what's happening, buddy? He giggled to himself, that is so awesome. Woo-hoo. Ah yeah. Owen cheered, pumping his fist, winner of season 1 right here. The others cheered, having no hard feelings to the underdog as they imagine in season 1. Owen did a little jig in his seat before he farted, much to the others' disgust. Good thing I have the vent working overtime, Chris muttered to Chef, imagine us staying in a toxic gas chamber that is Owen with no way out. Chef nodded, thankful as well. Owen, welcome. The host greeted before he was grabbed into a bear hug. So awesome to be here, man. Owen tightened his hug. Yeah, man, that is just so. Owen paused, trying to figure out what to say. Awesome. Gwen smiled at him. Yes. Awesome. Woohoo. Are you going to be on my team? Oh, I sure hope so. Gwen muttered with sarcasm tone, rolling her eyes. Ooh. This guy is cool. Naruto grinned. Oh, thanks Naru, Owen said with a grin as other laughed at the new guy's nickname, even if he wasn't real per se. Are you almost done? Chris stared at Owen before the large boy put him back on ground, just in time to see Courtney. He pointed at the ship with the said girl who was waving at the group. Thank you. Courtney take Chris's hand and step down before make her way to the group. Hi, you must be the other contestants. It's really nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you, I'm Owen. He grabbed Courtney's hand and shakes it in his excitement. It's also nice to meet you, oh she trailed out, dropping her jaw at the upcoming camper. Everyone was in awe because the camper was really handsome that he would pass as a supermodel. This is Justin. Chris introduced him to the group. Just to let you know, we just pick you based on your look. Justin smirked at him, I can live with that. Justin nodded, actually happy for the reason he was picked. He wished he made it farther in the game, but he did better in the next season. Wait, if this is different, does it mean I went farther in TTI? I like your pant. Owen pointed at Justin's jean. Thanks. Because they look like they're all worn out. Did you buy them like that? No, just had them for a while. Owen facepalm, stupid. Owen blushed and laughed nervously, okay, not my best moment there. Hey, everyone. Izzy. Naruto blinks, she have orange hair, is it dyed or natural? Oh, it natural, Izzy informed them, wanna see? Asked as she lifted her skirt slightly. No. Hi Chris. She waved before slipped off the ship and hit her chin on the dock. Ouch. That's bad, wipe out. Tyler laughed and Courtney ran up to her, but Naruto beat her there and picked Izzy up. "You're alright?" Naruto asked, watching Izzy shook her head. "Yeah, that felt so good besides hitting my chin. I'll say, maybe you'll get a bruise or not," Courtney said as Izzy grinned at them. "So that is summer camp. Do you have papier mâché or lunch?" "That is good call. We need lunch." Owen perked at the mention of foods. "You have great ideas, Izzy," Owen grinned at her, "half the time anyways." "Really?" Izzy asked, "I just make them up as I go half the time." "Explains a lot," Gwen whispers. "First thing, we have to get a group photo for a promo." Chris chuckled, "Everyone on the end of this dock." With that, the campers gather at the end of dock and take their positions. Naruto stand right next to Heather with good guy pose. The host leap on the ship with camera, okay, and whoops, forget the lens cap. "Now hold that pose, hang on, card filled." "Oh come on." Lashana muttered, "My face is starting to freeze." Everyone say, "Wowanakwa." "Owenakawa." Everyone cried out as the dock break down, sending them into the water. "Okay, guys, dry off and meet at the campfire pit in 10. You guys ever think he planned that on purpose?" Trent asked, seeing the scene again from a different angle. "I doubt it," Harold replied. "I mean, he would have to be, like, a master planner to see when the dock would fail at the right moment when we were standing there. Or I was stalling till the enters finish weakening the dock," Chris whispered to Chef, getting a small cackle. "Campfire? That is Camp Wowanakwa, you're home for the next 8 weeks." Chris waved at the scene. "The campers sitting around you will be your cabin mates, competition, and maybe even your friends." The campers glance at each other, "You dig?" The camper who manages to stay on Total Drama Island the longest without getting vote off will win $100,000. "Excuse me," Duncan smirked, "what will the sleeping arrangements will be, because I'd like to request a bunk under her." He thumbed at Heather. Heather gasped in disgust, "They're not co-ed, are they?" "No." The host shook his head, "Girls get one side of each cabin, and dudes get the other." "Good thing since he's not your type." Naruto chuckled, ruffling Heather's head. The queen bee slapped his hand away, "Idiot, don't mess with my hair. We're on nationwide show." "Wow, the more I see it the more I find it surprise how close you two are," Gwen said, getting nods all around. "What's that supposed to mean?" Heather asked, annoyed. "He mentions that he knows your type." Noah started listing with his fingers. "He ruffled your hair with minor punishment with a slap to the hand where you would kicked anyone else below the belt. Face it, any more evidence and you could say you had a crush on him." Heather screamed out with her hands in the air at that, but no one paid any mind to it. Gomen. Naruto grinned, rubbing his head. "Excuse me, Kyle." Lindsay raised her hand, "Can I have a cabin with a lake view since I'm the prettiest?" "Yeah, but that's not really how it works here," Chris sighed, "and it's Chris. But I have to be with Sadie or I'll die." "Yeah, and I'll break out in hive." "It's true." "That cannot be happening." Gwen groaned before Owen grabs her and Tyler in headlock. "Aw come on, guys. It'll be fun. Like sleepover." "I agree with big fella." Naruto chuckled, patting Owen's back, well beside the sleepover part. "But sleepovers are fun," Owen said with a slight pout before he took another bite of his snacks and felt better. "At least you don't have to sleep next to him," Tyler whispered to Gwen, nodding to Duncan holding a deer in headlock as he grinding his fist on the head. Originally I was going to split you in 2 teams, but we have odd number of campers, so guess what?" All of the campers shake their heads in synchronize. "We are going to have a challenge right now. One of you will get instant elimination, which would even up the numbers of campers." What?" Was the same reaction before they all turned to a laughing Chris and Chef. "What the hell, man?" Duncan yelled. "Yeah, if the teams were uneven before the show went on, why didn't you just bring someone else?" Heather asked. "Too much effort," Chris replied, "but my guy is a genius. Why didn't I think of that?" "'Cause you would need a brain to do that," muttered Heather as the others glared back at the screen. Everyone cried before Courtney stands up with scowl, "But we just got here." "Too bad." He sing-song, "Now for our first challenge, it's going to be." Chris pulls out a black ball behind his back. The competitors can see that there was some kind of timer on the top of the ball. Paint bomb tag. The rules are similar. The person who hold this ball is the it. He tossed the ball up and down. There will be no tag backs. The new it have to freeze for 10 seconds. There are no safe zones with me so far. The host paused to make sure that everyone understands. As you see, this ball have a timer, which is the exact number of time limit, and it will explode it at the end, and the loser will be covered in paint. The eliminated camper will have to walk down the dock of shame, no shower at all. Lindsay and Beth gasped in horror. "You wouldn't?" "Oh, I so would," Chris mentioned as he wrote something down. "If the producers ever went with TTP, then this would be the first challenge with uneven teams for the hell of it." "No shower." Beth gulped, "That would be so humiliated to go out on the first day like that." "Sonyan want to be it." Chris wiggled his eyebrows. "By the way, it is 1 hour time limit." No one said anything unless someone speak up. "I'll do it." Thank, Naruto. I'm glad that you step up. The ball soared over everyone's head and landed in the retard's hands. Push the button on the timer to start the game on my command. Got it, Dadabeo. What does that mean? DJ asked, he's been saying it a while now. It must be a complex Japanese code of some sort, Harold offered his knowledge. Until I got for a translation or he tells up we cannot be sure. Then Buck says he wrong, Duncan whispered to Jeff. Oh you're so on man, Jeff replied as they high-fived one another. At ready the campers scrambled, set Naruto smirked, his finger hover over the button, tag. Timer. 1 hour. And wait to see someone gets a new coat of paint. Naruto laughed, walked off to find the hiding campers. He decided to check out the boathouse since it's close to the campfire, maybe some of campers would be there. Hey there me. Tyler pointed out as his counterpart hid on screen. Tyler. The jock was emptying the large box before diving into the box, placing the lid over his head, leaving a small gap. The game is so mine. Tyler laughed, only to cut off as the lid lifted to reveal Naruto staring back at him. How? BBBB but Tyler was in no better position as he was stunned at being found so fast much to the others' amusement. Boathouse was closeted and you were laughing so loud Naruto handed the ball to Tyler before taking off, sorry buddy. It's cool, man. The jock sighed as he rubbing his chin, tried to figure out which place to check out for any hiders. Tyler groaned as the others laughed. Harold. The nerd decided to take a refuge in a bathroom, using one of the stall. This is a perfect spot, no one would find me here. Harold snickered to himself before the stall door opened, ack. The person turns out to be Duncan, and Harold was kind of relieved that he doesn't have the ball with him. Duncan smirked at him, well that's not a bad spot, mind giving it to me? Harold crossed his arms with narrowed eyes, no way Duncan. Go find another place, gosh. The punk smirk become a grin before he grab Harold's collar and pull him up close, nose to nose. Want to reconsider it? Duncan holds up his fist. Oomy, haha. Harold chuckled nervously before Duncan toss him out of the stall, slamming the door on Harold's back. Gosh, that was my spot in first place he sighed before run out of the bathroom to find another hiding spot. Yeah but it's mine now Duncan said with a grin. You do know once he is tagged he will know exactly where you are hiding right? Courtney asked him. He'll tag you then. BFFT, he doesn't have the balls Duncan replied. Timer. 52 minutes. Tyler gulped as he glances at the timer, running up to one of the cabins. Early, he saw one of the campers rushed into the cabin before chose the boathouse and he hoped that the camper was still there. As soon as the jock gets closer to the door, he tripped on the step and barreled into the door, slammed upon the floor. Ouch. That'll leave a mark. Tyler groaned before look up to see concerning DJ, are you alright? The giant asked, only to get a ball. He blinked once, twice, and third time before groaned, oh man, the jock gets up with another groan before run off while shouting his apology to DJ. Sorry man, Tyler said to DJ who waved him off. Hey, why did Tyler take off? Harold muttered, checking inside the cabin only to see DJ with ball. Never mind the nerd quickly disappeared before DJ has any chance to tag him. Izzy humming, swinging her legs as she scanned the ground from her seat in the tree. She blinked, notice a retard, Naruto, start to climb up a tree in front of her. Izzy grabbed the vine and grinned before swinging into his tree. Huh? Naruto blinks as he felt something flew past his head before look up to see a hand reaching out to him and pull him up. Whoa. Haha, Hia. Izzy giggled. Oh, Izzy, right. The crazy girl nodded and Naruto grinned at her, you scared me. Thank for the help. Will I get to play with a new guy? Izzy giggled and the guys looked worried for some reason. No problem. Izzy stared at him, making him little uncomfortable. He rubbed his head for a while before Izzy speak up, are your whiskers tattoo or scar? Oh, nah. It's my birthmarks, something that my ka Izzy's hand on his cheek cut him off, start to rubbing them and the result was something that makes Izzy more excited. The teens blinked, did he just? Trent asked with a finger up and the others nodded stunned. Oh no way, Duncan asked before he laughed harder pounding the seat in front of him, much to Harold's discomfort, the dude purred. He is a cat or something? Lashana asked, but she had to keep her laughter down as the others either tried, failed or didn't bother at all. Oh this look fun, Izzy giggled rubbing her hand together. You just Naruto swatted her hand away lightly with red face. No, I didn't purr at all. He purred again before hold her back, DD don't. She kept giggling and attempting to rub them again. Oh man, Duncan wheezed, the chick will never leave him alone now. Duncan. The punk scowled as he scanned the area, juggling the ball in his hand. The next time he see that dweeb, he'll give him a piece of his mind, meaning his fist. Somehow DJ managed to tag Harold after a while then this nerd just come back to his hiding spot and tagged him. It really took him aback, gave Harold a chance to run off before Duncan think of hit him. Ugh, that sucks, he growled, tightening his grip on the ball. Duncan blinked here as Harold looked smug, at least until Duncan smashed Harold's popcorn bucket on his own head. Didn't have the balls, huh? Courtney asked with a smirk. So I've been wrong before. Timer. 41 minutes. Gwen. Somewhere in the woods, Gwen was crouching inside a bush. She sighed before stiffened as she heard a sound of footsteps getting closing. Who would it be? It or? Slowly the goth peeked out and sighed. It was just this blonde girl, Lindsay if she recall. Shall I just tell her that she kept running in a circle? Gwen whispered to herself before shrugged. Nah, I'm sure she would figure it out. She was wrong and has to watch Lindsay run around for the rest of time. Lindsay frowned slightly as the others laughed slightly. At least I was safe, she muttered to herself, and Beth comforted her. Duncan? See ya. Duncan chuckled, walk away from the nude. Wonderful, I'm so happy that I'm it now. The bookworm shot back, glared at Duncan's back as he retreated to whatever he come from. Maybe he won't have decided to hide behind that boulder to read his book. Noah sighed before wandering around, taking his time and making plans in his head. If he decides to wait until the last minute and hand it to someone, this person will be out right away because of no tag back rule, and he have a lot of time to kill, according to the timer. After another glance, correction, he have to find someone soon. Timer. 29 minutes. Oh, you're cutting it close, bookworm, Heather said with a smirk. She knew no one would dare tag her. Cody and Trent. The duo was hiding right behind the Arts and Crafts Center building and was chatting about music and what kind they enjoy. Really? Never pegged you for a fan of classical music. No offense, Cody. Yeah, it's okay. I really never understand why everyone would ever think that I'm into electronic music, it's not this good. The two friends high-fived each other, glad they still were friends here even early on. Heather. The queen bee was filing her nails without any worries. She was sitting on top of the sink in the communal bathroom and glanced at the door to make sure that it's still locked. What if someone have skill to pick a lock like Naruto always does when he pulls some of pranks? Ugh, the idiot better not get himself kick off. She blows her hair up. I need him for the alliance, since he's more useful than anyone here. Oh, girl, you better not have the boy as your little slave saying it is an alliance, Lashawna said, glaring at Heather, as were Lindsay and Beth. Heather scoffed, please, if see my friend, I can do what I want to him. Besides, why do you care? The boy does not deserve you bossing him around, Lashawna replied with hand on her hips. Besides, he a nice guy. I hope you two are not on the same team. She snapped out of her thought at the sound of doorknob jiggled. Hey, let me in. Heather raised her eyebrow at the voice. It sounded like that fatty before resuming her filing. Oh, Heather blinked. I'm it now. But I'm so bad at it. Oh, did that fatty get tagged by someone? Oh well. Outside the bathroom, Owen pouting as Noah pats his back. If it helps, I noticed some campers hiding over there in the main camp where the cafeteria would be. Noah offered, feeling little bad for Owen, since it seems that he is nice guy. Thank, little buddy. The lovable oaf give Noah a bear hug before rushed toward the cafeteria. Noah and some others winced knowing Owen's hugs can hurt. Owen at least had the decency to look sheepish. Sorry, little buddy. It's fine, Noah waved him off, just try and not hug me as much. Owen frowned slightly as he liked hugging people. Ugh, you think my ribs just cracked a little, the bookworm groaned. Owen really don't know his strength at all. Noah rolls his eyes. Again, everyone on this island are living example of stereotype. Bridget, Eva, Courtney, and Ezekiel. The girls growled at Ezekiel as Eva grabbed Ezekiel's neck. Oh boy, Bridget said as some of the girls frowned and Eva gritted her teeth. We should have seen this coming. What did you just said? The reason why the girls were mad at Ezekiel right now is because he just made some sexist comment and it doesn't sit well with them. Tell me, what did you just said? I just said that it's good that you have me protecting you, since girls are weak, eh? Eva growled. Pa said that I have to watch out for the girls, since they need a lot of help, eh? Courtney joined Eva, plus, boys are smarter than girls, so we have to help you a lot. Well, he's dead, Duncan said, getting nods from everyone. Open mouth, Chris started with a grin as he watched, insert foot. Bridget growled as she opened the door. Toss him out, the surfer gritted her teeth, and Eva smirked before throw him out, slamming the door as Ezekiel skidded on the ground before stop in front of someone's feet. Slowly, he looks up to see Owen with the ball. I'm sorry, the oaf chuckled nervously as he placed the ball in Ezekiel's hand before darting off, as if a devil was chasing him. Wee is he screaming. The homeschooled boy takes a good look at the timer and widened his eyes. Timer. 10 seconds. Wait, doesn't he have to freeze when he's tagged? Trent asked and the others remembered and nodded. They could not say they were upset at the outcome though. Owen actually wiped his brow seeing how close he was to being kicked out. The flashback went off in his head. Chris tossed the ball up and down, they knew it'd have to freeze for 10 seconds. Suddenly everything was in slow motion. Ezekiel gulped slowly. 9. Owen kept screaming as he ran. 8. The girls in the cafeteria duck under the table. 7. Heather checks her nails for any dirt, ignoring the scream of the campers. 6. Chris takes a sip out of his coconut drink as he smiled, watching the scene unfolded with his binocular. 5. BJ peeked out of the cabin with Lashana and Beth before duck back inside. 4. Gwen gives another sigh, feeling a little bad that she don't tell Lindsay that she was still running in circle. 3. Ezekiel takes a deep breath. How big of a bomb do you think it might be? Chris asked a chuckling chef. Naruto. Did you hear it? Jeff and Justin turned to Naruto with puzzling expression. I swear it sounded like someone screaming, did the paint bomb just? Ooh. They dropped their jaws, watching a huge pillar of multicolored paint shot up in air in the distance before it splashed back. Man, that was a blast, Duncan muttered as they all stared open-mouthed at the screen. CC, boom. Izzy cheered with a laugh. Awesome, Dadabeo. Naruto laughed, drawing their attention before joining him in laughter. I knew I liked that kid, Izzy said still giddily. My Chris shakes his head, Ezekiel, only if you don't say anything, you won't be out of the game, but you just did. Ezekiel sighed, attempting to wipe the paint off his face. Service him right. Courtney muttered, crossing her arms in front. Now, since it is instant elimination challenge and you lost it mean you have to take a walk down the dock of shame. And I take a shower before I go, eh? Inu. Chris drawled, don't want you to track paints all over my island, and why would you waste a good coat? He snickered, earning another sigh from the prairie boy. Well, that's still the same, Noah said as he listed off something in a notebook since the first scene appeared. Dock of shame. Ezekiel sighed in dejection as he walked up to the boat and take his seat. Everyone watched the ship take off and disappear into the horizon. Campfire. Was it fun for you guys? Did you just have a taste of the challenge? Chris asked the campers and speaks up as he pulls up a clipboard, don't answer. Now we're gonna to split you into 2 teams since we have even numbers now. Idiot, if we're on same team, you better be in alliance with me. Heather whispered to Naruto. Lashana shook her head, girl the teams haven't even been made yet and you're already bugging the boy. Oh just shut up, Heather growled. Don't worry, He-chan. She nodded before snarled silently, realizing that he just called her with her nickname. If I call your name out, go stand over there. Chris gesturing at the right side of the campfire before calls them out, Gwen, Noah, Lashana, Heather, Jeff, Harold, Lindsay, Beth, Trent, Sadie, and Izzy. Wait a second, Harold said looking at the newly formed team. The others stared quite as Noah quickly wrote the names down. Everyone stand up, never noticed that Heather's eyes widened. The host did not call Idiot's name, which mean he's on the other team. You are officially known as he paused, swipe his hand in air as if he was posting something, the Screaming Gophers. But that's not right. Harold added. Where's Owen? Where's Justin and Cody? Why am I not on the killer base and why is Izzy here when she? Dude stop already, Duncan said getting a headache. It's obvious that the teams are mixed up now. We never had this cool new kid, we never did that first challenge at the start and now the teams are not the same. But why? Harold asked much to the others' annoyance, why not just have him take Ezekiel's spot and keep everything else the same? I don't know, Duncan asked getting close to beating the nerd up. Why are you a total loser that makes me want to lock in a toilet after Owen used it? Because of reasons, so sit down shut up and let's see how much better the killer base are without you on it. But, Harold started before Lashana butted in, are you complaining about being on the same team as me? A team with no Duncan till the merge. Harold stopped and thought it over before he grinned, well, this is a perfect time to show off my maid skills. Oh god shut him up already, Chris muttered as he unpaused the DVD again. It's so amazing, gosh. Harold grinned as he takes a look at their green flag. Wait, what about Katie? Sadie gasped in horror, but Chris ignored her. The best friends smiled at each other, knowing that Chris will get them on the same team again. The rest of you, over here. He pointed at his left and calls them out by their names, Bridget, Justin, Naruto, Eva, DJ, Duncan, Tyler, Courtney, Katie, Owen, and Cody. He waited as the rest take their place. But Sadie is a gopher. I want to be gopher. Katie cried. There. Katie, is it? Come on. Country escorts Katie to their group, it'll be okay. It is so unfair. Katie sobbed, I'll miss you Sadie. I miss you too. They must be really close, Naruto guessed, it was kind of same with Heather, but knowing her, she will never admit it at all, because she have her pride or something like that. Heather scoffed, like she would ever act like those 2 losers. Chris tossed them a red flag, you guys will officially be known as Owen grabs it and unfurled it, the killer base. Woo-oh-hoo-oh. I'm a base. Owen cheered, grabs everyone in a group bear hug with a huge grin on his face. Naruto blinked, did you give us red flag on purpose since I have red hair? Chris blinked and actually noticed that. Huh, didn't notice that. Oh well, I'm sure I had a good reason. Yeah right, Gwen muttered. Nah, just a coincidence. Somehow Naruto don't believe Chris because his eyes just shifting side to side. Alright, campers. I'm not sure if I already told you that, but you and your team will be on camera in all public areas during the competition and confession. Everyone blinks. Confession. The campers groaned as one. They hated the confession. It was only season 2. Did they actually make a good one? Confession. You'll also be able to share your innermost thoughts or make video diaries anytime you want to. Chris grinned at the camera inside the outhouse as the flies flew around him. Let the audience at home know what you're really thinking, or just get something off your chest. Static. Okay, Gwen deadpanned. So far this sucks. Static. I don't get it. Lindsay stand in front of camera with her back facing it. Where's the camera guy? Static. Honestly, I'm not really in for money. Naruto lick his lips and scratching his head. He-chan kind of forced me to sign up, and well, I also have my reason for coming here. Nice one Heather, Gwen said, getting a glare from said girl. I wonder what other reason he has to be there. DJ wondered, getting shrugs. Lindsay had her own idea. Oh, maybe he want to find a girlfriend on the show, or maybe to get famous like us. Maybe, Beth said, doubting it, but figured her friend didn't need to know that. Static. Somehow a duck was putting on a pink lipstick and quacks at the camera. The cast raised a brow not knowing that, and Chris chuckled. Remember that being caught on the camera, and glad they kept it here too. Static. Hey guys, check that out. I have something important to say. Owen placed his hands on his hip before farted loudly. He giggled to himself. Owen giggled as well before he farted too. Alright, any questions? One of them raised their hand. No. Cool. Let's find your cabins. The host clapped his hands, lending them to the cabins. Cabins? Ophers, you're in East cabin. Chris pointed at the East cabin. Base, you're in the West. Grab your stuff and settle in. The teams walk to their cabins as Chris watches them. After entering the male side of cabin, Naruto take a good look around before walk to one of the bunk beds at the back of the room before asking his male teammates, who's going to bunk with me and which one would you like? Is it cool with you if I take the bottom? DJ asked with gentle smile, and Naruto nodded as he tossed his bags on top bed. Hi, it's cool with Mej, right? That's right, Naruto, did I say it right? The gentle giant find it little harder to say his name since it's something that he never heard it before and worried that he may get it wrong, but his concern was erased after Naruto gave him a nod with grin. DJ sighed, relieved that the new guy seemed okay with him making sure he did not mess up his name. He seems like a nice guy. Want to talk to guys, getting know each other since we're going to see each other a lot. DJ agreed with Naruto after placing his bags on his bed. As soon as they walk out to talk to the teammates, Naruto turned his head around before asking, where's this little guy, Cody? Yeah. Cody flew past them before landed on the ground with a thump. Beak decided to hit on Chicks and Gopher's cabin, just walked inside their room. Duncan chortled, watching Cody pick himself up. Yeah, not your best move man, Trent said as the other guys chuckled. Cody shrugged, but he still had a good-natured grin on his face. Courtney was about to say something, but a loud cry cut her off before everyone glanced to see Lindsay wailing for some reasons. I'm glad we're in our own cabin with just guys. You know what I mean. Owen chuckled as the boys starting to give him a look. I mean no, I didn't mean like that. He stammered, I love chicks. I just don't want to sleep near them no, 3 mean. Duncan rolled his eyes. Owen chuckled nervously as the other either shook their heads or rolled their eyes. Excuse me Chris. Jeff shouts out to the host with a wave, is there a chaperone of any kind in this facility? You're all 16, Chris looked little nervous for some reason, as old as a counselor in training at a regular summer camp. He grinned, so other than myself, you'll be unsupervised. Actually, isn't that what cameras are for? Naruto raised his eyebrow and Chris muttered something about wise ass. Jeff hummed as he thought it over. You know he has a point. Why didn't we figure that out? Some of us did, Courtney muttered. We did? Lindsay asked. Anyway, you've got a half an hour to unpack and meet me back at the main lodge starting now. Chris turns around and went to the main lodge to talk to his co-worker and get things ready. It wasn't long enough until Lindsay screamed in terror within the gopher's cabin, startled everyone before they take a look inside to see her standing on the chair, pointing at a roach scurrying around. Oh man, that white girl can scream. Lashawna said before the roach crawled toward DJ, draw an unmanly scream. He jumped into one of the bunk bed and breaks it by accident. That was my bed, Gwen deadpanned, not believing it. Sorry, DJ muttered as he was sure he didn't the first time around. It's fine, Gwen said, forgiving him long ago. It doesn't matter anyways. It's official, the universe must hate her right now. The rest of campers stomp around, trying to kill the bug before Naruto quickly catch it in his hands and smiled at the roach. Come on, guys, don't be cruel to the little fella. He lightly pets the bug's back, poor guy was just curious, I'll release him outside. BB but, it's gross. Beth shivered. Ew, Lindsay cried as she watched the screen, how can he hold it in his hand like that? Duncan noticed something, yeah it just crawled right into his hand like that. Weird. Maybe but it is alive. Let me know if you find any bugs, I'll just catch and release them outside. Naruto smiled, walk outside and put the roach on ground gently. Here you go, fella. The roach crawled off his hand before turn around, everyone blinks as it rubbed its shell on his hand with a purring before ran away. Did this roach just purred? Noah blinks, he know that bugs don't purr at all, what the hell is that? Yeah what I said, Noah asked in disbelief. He was not the only one, but most of the girls cringed or shivered at touching a cockroach with their bare hand. Naruto chuckled before looked to see Duncan with axe, it would be overkill if he doesn't get roach in time. Sorry, bud, maybe next time. He chuckled, patting Duncan's shoulder as he walked back to his cabin to unpack his stuffs. Duncan shrugged, he doesn't mind it, as long as he has to keep the sweet axe that he still found. He just stole it. Duncan snapped his fingers. Sure it was overkill, but he enjoyed using the axe on the small bug. Main lodge. Listen up, I serve it 3 times a day, the chef shouted at the teenagers. Early Chris introduced the camper to Chef Hatchet, and some of campers was little afraid of him. Chef roared at them, and you'll eat it 3 times a day. Grab your tray, get your food, and sit your asses down now. Excuse me, Beth stuttered, will we be getting all the major food groups? Chef ignored them as he scooped the foods into their tray before Harold speak up, yeah, cause I get hypoglycemic real bad, Chef's eyes twitched once, if I don't get enough sugar. You get a lot of shut the heck up. The chef roared in Harold's face, sent him running to the table in fear. Why does he have to cook for the damned kids, they kept whining about his foods. You may not have enjoyed cooking for them and the complaining, but you have to admit it was fun messing with them in the challenges, Chris said to his partner. True, Chef admitted. Wish they stopped complaining about the food though. They think they would be in a fancy 5-star restaurant and be served hand and foot. Hell no, that's my spot. The campers frowned or gritted their teeth hearing the top above them. Owen whispered to Noah with smirk, have a cow. What was that? Chef snarled and beckoning him over, come closer, fat boy. I can't hear you. Yumi didn't really say anything important. Owen nervously chuckled, grabbing his tray. It's better to have something to eat than nothing. I'm sure you didn't, Chef growled before ordering Noah, and you scrawny kid. Give me your plate. He dropped another scoop of food, only to have it jump back in his scooper. He growled, whacked it down before Noah walked off with weird look at his food. That's impossible, food can't be sentient, can they? Noah gulped, he swear that the food just growled at him. Only when Chef cooks it, Noah whispers to Cody before both of them glanced up in case Chef heard them. Next. Naruto take his tray and give Chef a cheesy grin. The cooker dropped the foods into the Reed's plate. Thank, Chef. Chef blinked surprised as did the other campers. Confession. Finally. Someone with respect. Chef grunted, crossing his arms. Do you know how rare it is to find a teenager who actually respect and eat my foods without making any complaints about my cooking? He sighed, rolled his eyes. I think my food just moved. Gwen stared at her food before Chef mashed it with blank look on his face, right. Meanwhile, the killer base team stares at Naruto eating his foods without hesitation. Hell, Owen really hesitated to take a bite out of the mystery meat. He blinks, finally noticing their widened eyes and asked, what? Do I have something on my face? Wow, Owen said impressed, he must be a good eater to have be braver than me in eating. Yeah, and not many can be braver than you when food is concerned, Izzy added, and everyone nodded. He is awesome, Owen said with a grin. Aren't you worried about eating those foods? Cody poked his food with fork, only to have it eat the fork, omnib. Naruto chuckled and grinned at them, nah, they're really good. I really like it. He takes another bite, ignoring the faces of his teammates turn little green. How the hell does he like it? I guess he don't have taste bud, Courtney muttered before their host walked inside the main lodge. Welcome to main lodge. The host smirked, placing his arms behind. Yo, my man. Jeff looked up from his tray, can we order a pizza? A cleaver flew past Jeff's head and cut into the doorway above Chris's head. Whoa. It's cool, gee. Brown slop is cool. The party boy cried as Chef growled, causing most of campers cower. Nice one, man, Chris said to his friend. Yeah, but my aim was a bit off, Chef admitted, I was aiming to nick his hat. Jeff gulped hearing that and thankful Chef missed. Chris chuckled, your next challenge begins in 1 hour. Another one? But we just had one early. Lashana stood up. So? Chris smirked before turn on his heels and walk out. What do you think they'll make us do? Katie whined. DJ placed his hand on her shoulder, don't worry, I'm sure it won't be bad. Maybe it's going to be a relaxing challenge. I was such a fool, DJ said shaking his head. Hey, it was our first day there and our first challenge, Bridget said with a smile to comfort DJ. There was no way we could have known. Line equals. The teams found themselves on top of a tallest cliff that loom over the lake. Oh, fuck. No one know who said it, but it was good thing that there will be editor to censor the cussing out. Chris really wishes that they would leave it there, but no, the producers want it to be PG. So we get an uncensored version I take, Duncan asked. Yep, Chris replied, completely uncut. Who said that anyways? Chef asked hearing the scream from his place in the mess hall, but never figured out who it was. It sounded like a girl's scream to him though. DJ raised his hand embarrassed. The day's challenge is threefold. Chris clapped his hands to get their attention. Your first task is to jump off this, he pointed the edge of cliff, 1,000-foot high cliff into lake. Piece of cake. Bridget whispered to Tyler and Naruto. Bridget winced knowing that was not true. If you look down, you will see 2 target areas. Everyone did look down, there was one wide arc of water buoy rope with a small circle, also made by water buoy rope. The wider area represents the part of the lake that we had stocked with psychotic a shark leap out of water with a snarl, man-eating sharks. Is that legal? Naruto muttered to himself. Surprisingly yes, Chris stated, as long as the animal in question is not harmed and in a controlled environment and waivers were signed so harm will befall a shark for acting, well like a shark we can. He's lying right? Cody asked Noah scared. Noah shrugged not knowing but looking at Chris nervously. Chris continued his explanation, inside that area is a safe zone. That's your target area which, we're pretty sure is shark-free. He ignored Lashana's plead, for each member of your team that jumps and actually survives, there will be a crate of supplies waiting below. The camera zoomed to crates on the lakeshore, inside each crates are supplies that you'll need for the second part of challenge. Chris throws his arms in air, building a hot tub. The team with the best one gets to have a wicked hot tub party tonight. The losers will have no hot tub. It's a reward challenge, which means no one will be kicked out this round. Makes sense, Heather said, we already kicked someone off even if that wouldn't have changed. I wonder who will win this time, Courtney said. With the teams mixed up who knows who will win now. Well if I recall, Duncan started, the only ones that didn't jump are DJ, Beth and you Princess. And seeing as you and DJ are on the same team again. Ah. Courtney creamed as she hate losing even if she was not there. She hoped things would be different this time. Why can't we kick off someone? Lindsay tilted her head. Because we already did early and it won't bring us a good rating if we kept kick people out in one day. Chris grunted, wish he can kick a lot of people out for fun. Anyway the killer base, you're up first. Oh wow. Bridget peeked over the cliff to see how far it is, so, who wants to go first? She asked with a smile, no one said anything until Naruto stepped up with a grin. I could go unless you want to. He can hear Owen telling them that it's cool, since the reality show always test any stunts with their interns. Chef scoffed while Chris shook his head, you're never going to let that go are you? That was for a job for interns, not me. And you were fine. You had worst anyways. Don't push it pretty boy. The campers looked at one another hearing this as this was all news to them. If that's cool with you, I like to go first Naruto nodded as Bridget looked at his black t-shirt over his orange-red board short, aren't you going to take the shirt off since it will get wet? Naruto make a small wince that no one even noticed, too like to have shirt on when I go swim. He replied and Bridget shrugged. I wonder what wrong? Trent asked aloud hoping nothing was wrong with the new guy. He, like most of the other campers, liked the new guy. He must be embarrassed by gut Harold suggested. Not everyone can pull a 10-pack like I can. The other campers shook their heads or downright scoffed. Chef looked at Chris, one reason you added him to the show was his lying ego right? I would be lying if I said no. Duncan just reached over and stuffed some of Owen's candy wrappers down Harold's shirt. I seen Girl Scouts more intimidating. See you at bottom. She smiled at him before turned to the teams with frown, it's really no big deal, just an insane dive into a circle of angry sharks. She takes a dive as everyone ran up and looks at her diving into the safety zone. Bridget come out and waved to everyone, showing that she was fine. My turn, Dadabeo. Naruto ran and jumped off the cliff with cry, cannonball. Idiot Heather mumbled, not even worried about Naruto's safety. The said boy landed in the safety zone with large splash before his head shoot up from the water. That was fun. Woo. Jeff cried, I like Naruto's style. He got nods from most of the guys. Naruto turned to the sharks before call out to them, hey sharks, mine gives me a ride to the lakeshore. I'll give you some meats to eat if you like. WWW what? Are you crazy? They're psycho. Man-eating sharks. What? Were the replies from the campers watching. Izzy laughed, oh shark wrestling. Sounds like fun. Me next. You crazy girl, Lashana said gapping at the screen. And same to the red boy. Those sharks will kill him. Wait for it, Chris muttered, recalling this from his little peek before calling the campers. The teams cried out in unison, only to stand in shock as one of the sharks swim up to Naruto and bring him to the shore, holding on the fin. Thank, Fin. Naruto rubbed the shark's back. Will any kind of meat be fine with you? The campers all gaped, stunned beyond belief. I don't believe it, Gwen muttered. I know, Izzy replied with a pout, where's the wrestling? The shark listened to him, Trent muttered, and he even gave it a name. Confession. I'm not going to make any comment about that, Noah muttered with blank expression. Static. He even named this shark, Gwen deadpanned. Static. Is it me or did this shark purred? Since when they can purr? Justin blinks, unsure if he just imagined it before adoring himself in mirror. It did? Justin asked. Can they even purr? Not to my knowledge, Noah muttered as he made another note about the new guy. Everyone turned to Heather since she's his childhood friend and hope she will answer their question. I stopped trying to figure him out years ago, was all Heather said. Tyler shook his head, clearing up the shock and said, I'm going next. He took a few steps back and ran off the cliff, cowabunga. Oh. Bridget and Naruto groaned, witnessing Tyler's body clashed with one of the buoy's tower before he slid down into the safety zone. Tyler winced seeing that and recalled how painful it was. The others winced as well before DJ said, at least you landed in the save zone afterwards and scored for your team. True, Tyler admitted. One by one, Duncan, Eva and Cody dived and made it to the safety zone. DJ stares at the lake with fear written on his face. None. No way, man. He gulped, take a step back. Not even going to jump. Scared of height. Chris smirked at DJ. Yeah, ever since I was a kid. That's okay, big guy. Chris walks up to the giant and putted a chicken hat on DJ's head, unfortunately, that also make you a chicken. You'll have to wear this for the rest of the day. Aw, man. For real. Compared to some of the other stuff we had to do, I think I can live with a hat. The others nodded to DJ's statement. Balk, balk, balk. Chris clucked, that mean a chicken path is this way. He pointed at the escalator that mysteriously appeared on the cliffside. DJ sighed as he rides it down. Excuse me, Chris. I have a medical condition. What condition, Courtney? He never heard anything about her having medical condition. A condition that prevents me from jumping off cliffs. You can chicken out if you want to, Chris smirked at her as he checking his nails, but it might end up costing your team the victory. And then they'll hate you. It's a calculated risk. Courtney gazed at the Gophers. I've seen the other team and I don't think most of them will jump. Yeah, and how did that work out for you? Heather asked. Oh, shut up, Courtney shot back, if I recall Ashana had to throw you off. We can still win this. She does know that it doesn't matter, right? Jeff whispered, getting shrugs from DJ and the others. Alright, here's your chicken hat. The host chuckled before turned to the remaining base teammates, so who want to go next? I'm not jumping without Katie. Sadie cried. We have to be on same team. Katie cried with her before get up closer to Chris's face, please. Can we be on same team? Can we? Can we? Can we? Can we? Can we? They chanted together. Oh, for the love offine. A loud squeal almost deafened him, W who want to switch. He cleans his ear with Pinky. Saw that coming, Duncan said as the group covered their ears as the two friends squealed in delight. Okay, so who's going? Harold asked. I will. I will. Izzy cried, waving her hand excitedly, I want my girl to play with Whiskers some more. I'll switch places with her. Izzy raised her hand and Chris nodded, writing it down on his clipboard. Sadie, you're Gopher and Izzy, you're base now. Izzy grinned before dived into the safety zone. Did she switch place with Sadie? Duncan said to Naruto, and he gives a little nod with unsure expression on his face. He senses danger, Noah joked, getting some Snickers. Now, Justin. The model smirked before dived but landed in dangerous zone. Everyone screamed as the shark zoomed into Justin, but they stopped and take a good look at him. Justin smiled at them and they fall in love with his look, one of them carries him to the shore. Wow, his handsome really come in handy. Chris chuckled before turned to Owen, no will you jump or chicken out? Maybe your jump will bring them no pressure, man. The large boy gulped before put on his water floaters. The killer base team cheered him on as he inched closer to the edge. He takes a deep breath before closed his eyes. Here we go, Owen whispered in awe, seeing this from a different point of view. He hoped his counterpart didn't lose his suit like he did. Confession. Owen gulped, look at the corner. See, the thing I'm not that strong a swimmer. Static. Jeff smirked at the camera, I looked at this guy and thinking, there's no way he's going to make it. Static. Bridget rubbed her arm, I was really worried about Owen, I thought he gonna die. Oh, thanks for worrying, Bridge, Owen said with a smile to the surfing girl who waved back. Owen, walk a few meters back, take a good run at it, buddy. You can do it. It was really surprised that Chris was encouraging him on. I'm going to die, no I'm going to freaking die now. He takes a deep breath and screaming on top of his lungs as he ran up to the edge and jumped off with a scream, oh crap. And landed in the safety zone, causing a huge wave that knocked the killer base team down and some sharks landed in Naruto's arms. Then, Fang and Joe, are you alright? Naruto asked them, only to have them shivering in fear of their near-death expression. Then, Fang and Jaw. Gwen echoed, man, not only did he name them, but he gave them bad ones too. What other name do you give a shark? Owen questioned. Gwen was not sure how to answer that. React time until we get the sharks calmed down and have them back in the lake. Chris blinks at the sight. And we're back. Chris grinned before he turns to the screaming Gophers team, now it's your turn to jump. We'll throw in a pull cart to put your crates on. Nice. Trent grinned a small grin, okay, guys, who's up first? Us. 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 Katie and Sadie chanted before they ran off the cliff, holding their hands and landed in the safety zone. Yeah. Katie and Sadie cheered at their double points. I'm sorry, there's no way I'm doing this. Heather crossed her arms with her nose in air. Why not? Beth asked. Hello, Nation TV. I'll get my hair wet. You're kidding, right? Gwen asked, not believing what the queen bee just said. Here we go, Lashawna muttered crossing her arms. If she's not doing it, I'm not doing it. Lindsay said, looking in Heather's eyes. Courtney raised a brow interested wondering why didn't that work in her favor last time. Possible alliance. Heather smirked in her thought, only to snap out of it as Lashawna growled to her. Oh, you're doing it. Says who? Says me. I'm not losing this challenge cause you got your hair day, you spoiled little daddy's girl. Noah smirked, seemed to be amused by their fight, the boys gulped as Lindsay stepped back in fear. Back off, ghetto glamour, too tight pants wearing, rap star wanted. The girls gasped. Mall shopping, ponytail wearing, teen girl reading, peeking in high school prom queen. Lashawna shot back. Well, at least I'm popular. Heather smirked, oh snap. Everyone gasped, watching them fighting. Oh ho, major friction on the Gophers at day one, Duncan said with a laugh. But we already know that, Noah pointed out. Yeah, but we never got front row seats to it all. But point. You're jumping. Make me. Heather growled knowing that Lashawna showed how much of a pain in her butt she would become. Lashawna decided to do what she said and pick her up before throw her down, watching her landed in safety zone. Lashawna, you are so dead. Hey, I threw you into the safe zone, didn't I? Lashawna shot back before whispered to herself, now I just hope I can hit it too. She jumped off with a scream and landed next to Heather in safety zone. Lindsay glanced at Chris, I thought this was going to be a talent contest. Yeah, the host laughed, no. Okay, Lindsay gulped before dive with a scream, making it to safety zone. Gwen also joined her before Jeff jumps, swinging his hat around and wooing. Both of them made it to the safety zone. Man, that was a blast, Jeff said before he paused, minus the killer sharks that is. Actually that was my favorite part of the challenge, Chris added with a grin. I can't do it, Beth looked nervously at Chris, I'm too scared. The host pulls out chicken hat, I'm sorry. She cried to her teammates. This is, like, so lame, right? Lindsay turns to Heather with smile. Fully lame. Heather agreed with her before someone call out to her, ruffling her hair in process. Oh, He-chan, did you make friends? I'm proud of you. Idiot. How many times do I tell you to not to? Heather swatted his hand away as he chuckled. I am liking this guy more and more I see him, Gwen said. You said it girl, Lashawna agreed. Maybe you might end up with him this time, Trent said before they looked at each other and then looked away. Somehow I doubted. His eyes glanced to Lindsay and give her a smile. Lindsay, was it? The blonde bombshell nodded with smile, I'm glad that you're friend with her, I know she can be very tsundere, so please get along with her. The what? Lindsay asked. It's a Japanese term, Noah replied as he made a note, basically it means someone is initially cold and even hostile towards another person, before gradually showing their warm side over time to others. Ah, Harold nodded as he seemed to understand something. That explains a lot. Heather is always mean to everyone, and while we never seen it, I am sure to someone she shows a hey. Heather however found Harold's explanation annoying and useless, so she dumped her drink over his pants and made it look like he wet himself. The nerd got up to try and clean himself off in the bathroom. Heather sat down crossing her arms as she mutters, I'm not tsundere. I'm not tsundere. She cried out with red face. Yeah, I will, Nate. Lindsay nodded again with smile. Ahaha, it's Naruto. See you two later, I have to go back to my team. He waved at them before go back. Hannah, what's tsundere? Lindsay blinked, but Heather doesn't even answer her question at all. They both turned back to see that Noah and Trent already jump off and made it safe. Okay, campers, there is only one person left. Chris nudged Harold, you guys need this jump for the win. Harold gulped, I can do it, gosh, the nerd rubs his neck, peeking over the cliff and don't even hear his team cheering while other team eggs him on to chicken out. Okay, I'm going to jump now. If only, Duncan muttered, which got him a slap to the head by Lashana. Good luck. Chris chuckled, watching Harold ran and jump off with cheer. Shouldn't he keep his legs together because Naruto attempted to say before winced as Harold landed on his family jewelries with a high-pitched scream that make all males to winced, feeling the phantom pains. All the guys winced as well before they all paused when. Ah. They all heard a male screamed and turned towards the door to see Harold standing there looking horrified at the screen. He stood there unable to move. As the others let him be and recover on his own. The sharks also winced. Oh, hate to see that happen. Chris chuckled, taking pleasure in witnessing the nerd's pain. But the winner is screaming gophers. The said team cheered, Harold also gives a wee cheer as he holds his crotch. Well, at least he got us the win, Lashana said, glancing back at the still frozen Harold. The killer base team watches on as the gophers loaded their crates on the pull carts and walk back to their cabins, singing about something. Ow. I think I just got a splinter. Courtney winced in pain as Eve walked up to her and pick her crate up, scared Courtney. Shut up and pick up your crate, Eve slammed it down, chicken. Hey, I'm the only one here with sit camping experience here, you need me. The group, all but two at least, groaned while Courtney crossed her arms annoyed while Harold was started to recover. She is going to go on about that again, huh? Gwen muttered. Meanwhile, Bridget struggled with her crate before someone asked her from behind, need help? Oh, Naruto. She blinked, it sounded like Naruto before she nodded, yeah, as she turns to him, only to stares at him wide-eyed eyes. The group stared and whistled, dang, boy has some skill. Lashana said. How can he do that? DJ asked amazed. Think we can teach us? Jeff asked, forgetting a certain detail. Sorry if he exists, Noah added while he made another note about Naruto. Heather blinked, is he Alejandro in disguise? He was holding up two crates while balancing the third one on his head. Human second thought, it would be harder on you so I would do it. No worries, Essie will put one of the crates on your crates and we'll push them together, cool with you? Bridget rubs her arm, thinking about it before nods, great. Don't worry about the third one, Tyler will get it when he get back after finishing up something. That's nice of him, Tyler said, grateful the guy helped him out without slowing the team down. Oh, that's good. They both pushed the crates together while getting knows each other a bit. Naruto. Let me rub your whiskers. Let me rubs your whiskers. Izzy giggled as she ran up to him with crate on her back. Naruto paled as he takes a step back from her. Izzy giggled with glee, not even noticing the look Naruto had on his face. The others giggled at this, knowing the others will find out now. Do you want to rub his tattoo? Bridget blinks. Haha, it's really his birthmark and if you rub his whiskers, he will. Don't tell her he was cut off by Bridget's stroke on his cheek out of curiosity before she pulls her hand back with odd look and a little pinkish tint on her cheeks. Wow, Bridge, Owen said looking at the blushing girl, didn't think you would be so forward. I think I was too curious there. Bridget said, trying to defend herself. Jeff wrapped an arm around her shoulder, it's no problem, Bridge, even if it might be a little funny. Did you just purr? Bridget laughed, find it a little cute. And then no, I do this time it was Izzy stroking his cheek with giggle. Hey guys, you're falling behind. Chris pulls up on his motorbike, only to blink at Naruto purring before laughing, no way. I can't believe it. Chris laughed along with Chef, I am so going to hold that over his head. What's going on? Chris turns to see Courtney with swollen eye and he yelped at the sight, is he purring? I don't purr at all. Naruto cried, pushing their hands away lightly before picked their crates and ran off, leaving dust behind. Bridget and Izzy giggled before telling Courtney why they was rubbed his birthmarks. Poor boy is never going to be left alone, Lashana said, though she also had a large grin on her face. The base team made it back to the cabins and Heather noticed that Naruto was blushing hard. Why is the idiot blushing? Both of the teams turned to him after hearing Heather's question. Heather. Did you know if you rub his whiskers birthmark, he'll really purr like an animal? Izzy giggled, she doesn't even see Heather froze up. Oh, I think someone already knows, Duncan said with a grin, and others smiled teasingly at a glowing Heather, got some of your own little petting time with her pet fox. Shut up, Heather cried out, but all that did was get laughs. I think the girls is jealous, Lashana pointed out. You wish, Heather replied, but it did nothing to help with the problem. I don't. She's Lino. He purred, melt into Courtney's hand since she want to see it herself. No way, Trent chuckled. Stop it. Naruto stuttered with red face, why does everyone wants to feel his whiskers? Listen up, my birthmark is Ofo. He will be teased forever after this, Duncan laughed. Lindsay, I think you should leave the poor boy alone. DJ looked very concerned about him. Why? Lindsay tilted her head before scratching it lightly. Wait. Don't scratch it. Heather yelled, but it was too late. Naruto froze up at the action with widened eyes. Uh-oh, Lindsay said, afraid she did something bad. Is that a bad thing? Owen asked. Heather seems to know what's going on, Gwen pointed out as they waited, hoping nothing bad would happen to Naruto. He was really growing on them. Whoa, are you okay, man? Jeff asked as he poked Naruto, not getting any reaction. You missy okay? Lindsay looks worried since it was kind of her fault. Suddenly Naruto purred in bliss and cuddled into the close person, turned out to be Duncan. Dude. He cried, tried to prying him off. Duncan gasped as the others laughed, none harder than Harold. What was that about being teased forever? Heather asked with a grin, glad the punk had something happen to him. Duncan growled before he splashed his drink over a still laughing Harold, once again making it look like he was wetting himself. Fine, I'll say nothing about Naruto's purring if we don't mention being made into a cuddle buddy. We'll think about it, Heather replied, enjoying the moment. Don't bother. Idiot will be out of it for a while. Heather snorted, it always happens when someone scratches his cheeks and he won't remember anything in his bliss. It will take him to snap out in about 30 minutes. How long will he be on me for? Oh, how about few minutes before he will switch you with someone. The queen bee rolled her eyes, and he really has iron grip, so don't bother if you want him off. Great, Duncan muttered as Courtney giggled next to him. As soon as Naruto snapped out of his bliss mode and does not remember anything, the teams agreed on unwritten rule, and that's not to scratch his birthmark until you want him to cuddle on people. Even Chef was victim of it when he tried to pull him off Chris on his order. Chef growled as the others laughed, even Chris snickered before the cook reminded Chris he was also a victim. Courtney decided to put herself up as leader of Killer Base team and no one really said anything, so they were fine with it. It was obvious that the Screaming Gopher team have a good teamwork, something that the Killer Base was missing as they attempts to building a hot tub. It took them hours to finish up before Chris show up and look them over. First he walked up to Gopher's tub and hummed. This is an awesome hot tub. The team cheered and he walks up to the base's tub as the base team gasp in worry. He pokes it gently before it falls apart, watching a seagull that somehow got in their tub float away. Well, it's obvious that we have a winner here. Chris glanced at each team before shouting, the Screaming Gophers. Enjoy your party with a hot tub, which you will keep for the rest of summer. The Gophers cheered more and the bases groaned. Dang, how did that happen? Harold asked as he came back one again. The teams are different, so he couldn't have lost that badly. Maybe because you had a poor leader, Heather teased a fuming Courtney. It was not our fault. She cried before Duncan pulled her back to her seat before she started a new argument. Chris turned to the Killer Base team, and you guys will have no party. Suck to be you. Well, at least, no one is kicking off this round. DJ tried to cheer his team up. I'll say, Tyler said looking at Courtney, if Ezekiel didn't open his mouth you might have been voted off. With him gone before the challenge you might have really been eliminated. No, I wouldn't have, argued Courtney before she looked at the others, right guys? To be fair, Duncan started, you were very annoying to even me in the first episode. And like I said, between you and DJ, I picked DJ to help in a challenge. Courtney screamed angrily at the claim and at no one defending her. Chris stood on the dock with grin, now it has been a crazy episode. We have seen our farmer boy get a new coat, a lot of screaming, purring, and a lot of weird things, most around Naruto for some reason. Chris tapping his chin with his index finger, I wonder what would happen next time on Total Drama Island. I am loving the new season so far, Chris said with a grin. Naruto is really bring the drama without even trying. I like him, Chef admitted. The campers watched as a final scene appeared on the screen. Naruto yawned, decided to turn in early, and he wasn't alone because some of them were tired after a long day. So far today was interesting and fun besides some strokes on his cheeks. He got to know a few campers here and hope he will know everyone before the end of this show, maybe they will become his friends. He unzipped one of his bags and takes out his sleepwear, something inside catches his attention before he picks it up. It was a large thick envelope. Naruto sighed softly with saddened expression before place it back inside. I still have a lot of time, better not worry about it until later. He glanced around the room to make sure that his teammates don't see him before take his shirt off to reveal a large scar on his chest, over his heart, and quickly put a black shirt on. He rubs his hidden scar, want to forget this incident before shake his head as he put on his orange Raymond patterned pajamas pant. I wonder what tomorrow will be like, Naruto muttered softly before he closed his eyes and fall asleep. I wonder what that was about. Trent asked as the screen went black. No clue, but he did say he came to the island for a reason, Gwen said recalling the confession, so it might have had something to do with that. So ready for the next one? Chris asked before he hit play, not waiting for a response. The others sat back as the screen came to life and the first thing saw, to their displeasure, was Chris. Doc. Last time on Total Drama Island, Chris narrated, 23 campers arrived and learned that they'll be spending the next 8 weeks at an old summer camp. After I, your handsome host, found out that we had an extra camper, so we decided to mix it up with a good old-fashioned paint bomb tag. He chuckled at the memory from the first episode. That was so messed up, DJ whispered, to which he got nods all around. There were a lot of tags and Ezekiel would have made it if only he kept his mouth shut, but he didn't, and it cost him. The footage of Ezekiel screamed before the bomb blew up. After giving the old camp a new paint job, the prairie boy had to go back home on the first day. The host turns to the camera. There was a small break before I gave them a reward challenge. 2 in 1 day, who would have seen it coming, eh? They were called to their second challenge where they had to jump off a cliff into shark-infested water. Oh my. Chris chuckled again. There was a lot of screaming and purring, but it all ended in the Gophers' victory, earning them a sweet hot tub. Now today, who will be voted off for the first time in a dramatic campfire ceremony? Find out tonight on Total Drama Island. Oh God, are we going to have to listen to you at the beginning of each episode? Heather asked. Yes you are. Chris replied happily. Dude. Duncan cried out, and he was not the only one as they all gasped or screamed at the scene before them. Heather chews her lip as she fidgets with the bandages on her hand. She tugged it a little and glanced at Naruto with her tear-stained eyes. The said boy groaned as his eyes fluttered open. He-chan. He moaned weakly before Heather placed her hand on top of his hand. Relax, don't speak. Is it over? She nodded, tightening her hold on his hand. Yeah, you don't have to worry about everything went white, following with a loud noise. What was that? Harold asked, frightened. Dude, that was a lot of blood on the new guy, Duncan muttered, and while he's seen gorier movies before, it was different when you saw someone you know in a condition like that. Heather, what did you do? Lindsay cried out, hugging Beth and looking at the shocked and pale Heather. Dude didn't. Heather, however, could barely get a sentence and stunned at her friend or counterpart's friend in a state like what with her over him. Even Chef and Chris were stunned as this was the first time they seen this. What did you do? Chef whispered to Chris. I don't know, Chris said worriedly. What if the ratings on the show dropped for this? That and it was too bloody for his taste. Suddenly the scene changed. Screaming Gopher's cabin. Heather bolted up as the Gopher girls screamed at the wake-up alarm, courtesy of Chris and his air horn megaphone. She groaned, not listening to Lashana screaming at Chris. Was it a dream? No, it was a memory from a long time ago. She frowned. Why did I remember it now? Wait, that was a flashback? Gwen asked as the others stared at Heather. Looks like it, Trent said. But a flashback of what? Too scary, Lindsay said, shivering. Heather shocked them by saying, I'm sure we'll find out later, but for now let's see what's happening. They looked at one another before looking back at the screen. Heather, are you okay? Heather blinked as she looks up to Beth. You seem to be in deep thought about something. I'm fine, just sleepy. Heather snorted as she crawls off her bed. Let's see what Chris wants. The host chuckled as he looks over the grumpy campers lining up. Morning. Hope you slept well. Hi Chris. You look buff in these shorts. Heather said, trying to butter him up as Naruto gave her a weird look from the other side of the line. I know, Chris winked. Okay, I hope you're all ready because your next challenge begins in exactly 1 minute. What was the challenge again? Owen asked, trying to recall. Gwen was the first to remember before she groaned aloud. Great, not this again. The host tapped his watch before Owen asked him for breakfast. Oh, you'll get your breakfast, Owen, right after you complete your 20-kilometer run around the lake. Oh, so you're funny now, Eva growled as she walks up to Chris with a fist in the air. You know, what I think would be funny if Duncan and Naruto quickly held her back as she flung her arms around. Eva, try to control your temper now. Courtney whispered to her. The bodybuilder growled at Chris. You're enjoying this, aren't you? A little. Chris admitted. You have 30 seconds. Eva, I bet the run will cool you off. It's a workout if you look at it this way. Naruto said. Eva blinked at him before nodding with a frown on her face. The group breathed out in relief as Eva crossed her arms annoyingly. Man, that time bomb was defused, Cody whispered, to which the others nodded. Confession. Okay, that girl Eva has got to get a handle on her temper. Courtney gulped before starting counting on her hand. She's only been here 1 day and she'd already thrown her suitcase out a window and broke the lock on one of the bathroom doors. She paused while Naruto was inside. Even Eva had to look away at that last line, slightly embarrassed at what she did or what her counterpart did. That poor boy, Lashana muttered, feeling sorry for the boy. Static. Naruto looked very depressed and muttered in a fetus position. I will never get married, she sobbed. Ali will never be a groom, he sobbed in his hands, and Heather rolled her eyes as she patted his back. What? Beth asked, getting shrugs. His mother told me that he took it after her father, his grandfather. He'll bounce back soon. I hope so, Beth replied, not wanting anything bad to happen to Naruto. Okay, runners. Chris raised his finger in the air as if he was holding a gun, get on your marks, get set and go. Some of them ran off while the others decided to walk instead to save up their energy, since they were tired. D-chan, you're not running. I don't run and I'm wearing high heel wedges. Heather scoffed, attempting to push Naruto away. Want me to give you a piggyback ride, Dodgeball? Hell no. We're on different teams. Whoa, nice reaction Heather, Duncan said with a grin. Shut up, Heather shot back, not wanting to deal with this right now. Oh, she is so crushing on him, Noah stated softly as he made a note. Naruto chuckled at her. Your loss, He-chan. He said before jogging to his teammates. Heather growled at his back as it gets far and small, this idiot. Naruto ran into Owen as the large boy was lapping in the puddle. You alright, Big O? And catch breath must have a condition. Owen inhaled. I'll say, Trent muttered, remembering the one time it took Owen 10 hours to run 3 city blocks. Naruto tapped his chin. What if you will lose the challenge and you won't have breakfast? Owen froze and Naruto grinned. He knew that the big guy really likes food a lot, so what's the best way to motivate the big guy? That's work, Izzy cried as she knew this tactic all too well. Can you smell it? Owen's nose twitched. That's the smell of a breakfast, calling for you to get them what you hated if someone gets to eat them all. Food. Owen bellowed, jumping to his feet with a hungry look and ran, leaving dust behind. Haha, too easy. Naruto chuckled, resuming his jog. He laughed as some of the campers screamed from being tossed away in the air like rag dolls for getting in Owen's charge. Easy big fella, Duncan said to a chuckling Owen, try not to mow down everyone in sight. Sorry, Owen said with a slight blush. Main lodge. Chris hums a song, filing his nails and waits for the rest of the campers to show up. He took a glance at his right to see some campers lying on the floor and tables before the ground rumbled. The host raised his eyebrow. He doesn't recall that the island has an earthquake, and is it just him, or does it sound like someone stomping the ground with a bellowing? Feed me. Where's my breakfast? Chris blinked before the door opened with a slam, revealing a heavier breathing Owen standing in the doorway with drool and widened eyes on his face. Naruto chuckled, ducking under Owen's arm and taking his seat with his teammates. You can wait until everyone gets here. Chris said before the final member of the Gophers showed up. Wait a minute, if our members are all here, does that mean we won the challenge? Gwen said. Everyone went quiet before the Gopher team cheered. Owen cheered as well until Noah popped his bubble. You do recall your counterpart is on the base team, right? No. Oh, relax Owen, Gwen cried, covering her eyes. He'll still eat and the challenge has not even started yet. Owen stopped before he sighed in relief, thank goodness. The others rolled their eyes. No. Owen dropped on his knees and cried to the sky. Whoa, there. Hold your horses guys. Chris waved his hands, that wasn't the challenge. What did he just say? Gwen mumbled as the host walked up to a curtain. Who's hungry? Chris smirked as the curtain parted, revealing a large buffet table. The food actually shined with bright light. Wait, is that ramen? Ramen. Naruto stood up and pointed at the bowls at the end of the table, aesthetic to Liraman. Don't you lie to me. Me. Chris baffled by the Redeed's reaction. Wait, did his eyes just turn starry? What up with him? Tyler asked. He must like ramen, Owen replied in an understanding voice. What's ramen? Lindsay asked. An Asian noodle-like soup dish, Noah replied simply before Harold could go into a lengthy explanation. Confession. Gwen rolled her eyes. After a whole week of brown sludge, I almost cried when I saw that buffet. Static. Owen sniffled and choked. It was so beautiful, the buffet so beautiful, wiping a tear away. Static. I'm going to warn you, it's not going to be pretty when idiot gets his ramen. Heather shivered, it's like watching a pig eating slops. Ow, I doubt he's that bad, Courtney said, sure that Heather was making things up. Only to gap at the next scene. Everyone groaned after eating their breakfast, and right now they stared at Naruto with awe and a little disgusted looks as he stocked up the bowls of ramen like a tower. Even Chris and Chef was among them. Well, we wonder where does he put it all. DJ gaped as Cody counted them. 54,555,657. I swear there was just 4 bowls on the table earlier. And done. Naruto wiped his mouth. Boy, that's really good ramen, Dodgeball. Finally, Chris muttered, looking at a stunned Chef. I finally met someone, besides Owen, who actually likes your cooking. Hey, that was supposed to be good, Chef reminded Chris, and the fact the kid somehow got more ramen out of me is some sort of miracle. Chris shakes his head before speaking up. Well, let's forget what we just saw, campers. Time for part 2 of your challenge. I thought part 2 was just eating, Owen moaned. What more do you want from us? Weird goth girl is right. Heather groaned, haven't we been through enough? Let me think about that. Chris said cockily, no. It's time for the awakeathon. The campers groaned, how could I forgotten that? Courtney asked. I hated that, Cody said with a shiver, recalling some of the bad things that happened in that event. The what-a-thon? Everyone said in unison. Don't worry, this one is easy. The host grinned, you have to stay awake until the team with the last camper standing wins invincibility. So what you're saying is that the 20k are on in the eating frenzy, Gwen shivered at the memory of Naruto's assault on the ramen, was part of your evil plan to make it harder for us to stay awake. That's right. Chris admitted with a sadistic grin. Man, he's good, everyone agreed with Gwen. Thank you Gwen, Chris said with a grin, I knew you loved me. Yeah, like a hole in the head, Gwen muttered. Move, move, move. Chris pushed everyone out as Trent walked up to Gwen. How long do you think it'll be before everyone's out cold? He asked and the goth girl guessed it would be about an hour. Naruto laughed, walking past them, nah, I'm sure it will be longer than that. It went on for too long, Duncan said recalling that hell of a challenge. It was boring as well, and he could not do anything for the boredom. Campfire. Deed was right, it has been 12 hours and counting. All of the campers were still up before Owen cheered, woo-oh-hoo-oh. Stay up for 12 hours, I can do that in my sleep. He immediately falls asleep on his feet, and Chris chuckled. Owen groaned as Harold patted his back, it's fine but, like, you did jinx yourself. Confession. Gwen sighed, that was the most brutal thing I ever done in my life. Static. I have a trick up my sleeve when the time is right. Naruto snickered, that is if He-chan doesn't bust me. Oh, I wonder what it is, Chris asked interested. Maybe it will bring some drama. Bridget yawned before looking at the Screaming Gophers team to see Trent and Gwen staying awake by asking each other questions. Oh, that's not a bad plan. She glanced to her side, Naruto was at her right and sleeping Owen at her left, it's pretty oblivious who she will talk to. Hey, Naruto, want to play 20 questions so we can stay up? Sure. He yawned, let's start with an easy one, favorite color? Blue. I'm sure your favorite color is orange. Bridget smirked, earning a chuckle and a nod from Naruto. Favorite food? Ramen. I really can't live without them. Naruto grinned and she giggled, they continued their 20 questions for a few hours. Gwen and Trent glanced at each other with a small smile before they looked away. Heather was watching Trent hitting on Gwen before glancing at Naruto and Bridget, her eyes narrowed with a sneer. Better watch out Bridget, Heather is about to defend her territory, Noah joked getting a blush from the surfer girl and a growl from the queen bee. Confession. So, my strategy is to get 2 other campers to form an alliance with me and take me to the final 3. Heather smirked, the only question is, who can I find that is either desperate or dumb enough to do what I say? She gives a smirk before it turns into a frown, and why is idiot talking to klutzy surfer? I told him to not form any alliance until I'm in it. It's not an alliance, Bridget cried out. We are just being nice to one another and to help keep ourselves up. Not everyone has a mind that thinks everyone is up to something. Wow, babe, Jeff said slightly stunned, I never knew you thought that about Heather. I don't like her, I'll admit that, Bridget said looking down, I just don't want her saying anything bad about my girl there. It's fine, Jeff reassured her. But I have to say Naruto is pretty lucky. Getting your attention so early in the game. Bridget smiled at his teasing grin before she slapped his shoulder playfully. What are you doing? Heather turned her head as Gwen asked Lindsay, who was doing a handstand. Trying to get the blood to rush to my head. Lindsay said, I think it's working. Can I try? Beth asked and the bombshell answered, sure. The 2 friends smiled at one another, knowing it was a start to them being BFFs. Too easy. Heather smirked before call out to them, Lindsay, Beth, can I talk to you for a sec? Beth and Lindsay cringed now knowing they will be part of that alliance again. The others gave them their pity except Heather who looked annoyed with them. Sure. The trio walks a little farther from their team before Heather turns to them with crossed arms. Okay, I have a plan to get me and 2 other people into the final 3, and I choose you guys. Really? You should know that this is a very big deal. I am placing my trust in you, and trust is a two-way street. Beth and Lindsay nodded with smiles, so you'll do everything I say, then? Sure. Lindsay squealed to Beth, we're going to the final 3. Oh my gosh, I'm going to the final 3. The farmer girl giggled with glee. Lashawna shook her head, you 2 joined in a little easy there. To be fair, Beth pointed out, we did not know Heather as the girl we all know now. And being offered to be in a chance to be in the top 3 was nice. And we had no idea what we were getting into. Speaking of alliances, you know who I think is really cute? Lindsay said to Beth. You mean, like Justin? Beth sighed dreamily as she stares at the unmoving Justin. Justin winked at Beth who looked away. Nah, I'm thinking of someone from the other team. Wait, what? Justin asked concerned that Lindsay, at least the Lindsay from season 1, didn't think he was cute. Sure he was hotter than cute, but to be denied like that so early. Tyler looked very pleased with himself knowing he would be with his girl again this season. Noah glanced at Heather knowing the girl's counterpart would suspect the boy in question was her crush. Heather gets up to them closer and shakes her head with a frown. "Oh no, 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 no. You can't date anyone." Lindsay whined, "Why not?" "Because they are on another team." The queen bee snarled as she pointed at the opposite team, "You can't inter-team date. It's like against the alliance rules." "There are rules. Remember what I just said about trust." Heather shrugged, "Of course, you can always leave the alliance." She crossed her arms with a smirk, "If you do through I won't protect you from being kicked off." "No, I want to be in the alliance." Lindsay cried and Beth nodded her head. "We were such fools," Beth muttered and Lindsay nodded, but she paused to wonder if the other Lindsay was thinking about Tyler. Good. Heather turned on her heels and walked back with a smirk, "That was too easy." "I'm going to the bathroom." Eva grunted as she stood up and walks off, dropping something on her way. Heather spotted it and swiped it without anyone's notice. If she plays it right, they will kick Eva off for losing her cool. Eva growled as Heather smirked at her. She knew she was tricked, but she was also mad at the base team for kicking her off. They were all played, so why was she to blame? Bridget racks her brain, trying to find something to ask about since they ran out of basic questions. Naruto was in the same spot with her before the surfer girl snapped her fingers. "Oh, I'm just curious, so did you balance those crates without any trouble yesterday?" The guys leaned closer to find out. "Well, it's from my part-time job. If I told you, you won't believe me." Naruto chuckled. "Try me." She smirked. "I work in a few circuses and fill in when some performers have something to do or can't do." "Seriously?" Duncan asked, bewildered. "I went to Snappy Bob's clown camp once," informed Harold. "We learned many different tricks of the trade, even though I focused more on my own made skills that balanced them out." "Whatever," Duncan muttered, not caring. "No way. See, I told you, Dodgeball." Naruto laughed at her disbelieved face. "Yeah, because of that I have to work out a lot since I was little." Bridget blinked at the last part and he noticed, "Yeah, I started to work for circuses when I was about 8 years old and work out when I was about 10, so I can help the workers out by setting up and taking down the circus." "Wow, that's really hard to believe that. What kind of workout was it?" A new voice spoke up from behind them, causing them to look back to see Tyler staring at the redeed with a weird look. "Oh, just 100 push-ups, squats, and 10 kilometers run." Naruto smirked. Tyler gasped before standing up quickly, "I'm going to try your workout." Tyler nodded, agreeing with himself, "Man, it does sound like a good workout." The couple watched him run away before Naruto snickered and Bridget rolled her eyes. "That was mean." She giggled. "Hey, not my fault he made it too easy." "Wait, he was lying?" Tyler asked, stunned. "Well duh," Heather muttered. Naruto chuckled, "My workout is just normal basic stuff you can use at a gym, combined with circus training since I was 10. "Really, just those?" Naruto scratched his head, "Well, Smith-san, a performer, teaches me a few fighting techniques to defend myself a couple years ago, so I guess that counts." "Why did you work in circus at young age?" She wondered. "He must have an awesome reason to work in a circus," Owen said with a grin. "Well, I have to earn money since I live on my own at 7 years old after my Ka-san died from an illness and my 2-san doesn't know that I exist since they broke up a few days before Ka-san found out about me. I was lucky that He-chan's family looked after me for a while." "Whoa," DJ muttered. Owen winced remembering his statement. Gwen however looked at Heather, "That was actually nice of you, Heather." Heather huffed, "Well, if he is my childhood friend then I doubt my folks would just leave him hanging. And I don't think I would either." Lashana and Gwen glanced at one another, "She might actually have a heart somewhere," Lashana muttered. "One two sizes too small but a heart all the same," Gwen agreed. Oh, I'm sorry, didn't know that your Naruto." Waved it off as he take a glance around to see Izzy, Noah, and Jeff passed out. That was good thing that Izzy was sleeping because he can't take any more of her pets, even if it's really good and soft. "Nah, don't worry. Beside He-chan, I just met everyone here so it's cool if you guys don't know about it yet. Want to talk about something else?" "Yeah," Bridget nodded. They continued to talk more for a few hours. It has been almost 24 hours and Bridget passed out. She was leaning on Naruto's shoulder as he stares into thin air. Bridget blushed as she got some cheers and catcalls from all around her. Jeff chuckled and wrapped an arm around her shoulder. "Hey ah." Tyler screamed out of blue, leaped on his feet and screaming something about rabbit bear. "Look like the side effect of insomnia is kicking in." Chris smirked, "Congratulations, campers. You've made it to 24-hour mark. Time to take things up a notch." He presented them a pile of books next to him, fairy tales. Chef appeared out of nowhere, wearing a pink sheep costume and with harp. "They better paid me for this." The others groaned while Chef glared at a sheepish Chris. "Oh, he's not serious." Gwen groaned. Trent seems to be creeped out by seeing Chef in pink costume as Chris picked a book up and cleared his throat. Once upon a time, there was inside this boring kingdom chef played his harp as some of the remaining campers yawning, a boring village and inside this boring, sleepy village, filled with very boring children. Sadist, Gwen muttered as some of the campers actually got tired hearing this. Cody was first to fall asleep during the tale, but a fart in his face caused him to wake up, it turned out he was resting his head on Owen's rear. Cody screamed out in fright as the other laughed at him. All of a sudden, Chef leaped in the air wearing a pink tutu outfit, freaked the campers out, and throwing some sleeping dust at them. DJ tied himself to the tree for no reason before fall asleep under Chef's dust attack, bring a tree down in process. Timber Gwen yawned. DJ frowned, I thought the tree would keep me from falling over, and falling asleep too bad it didn't work so well. Confession. Courtney glanced at the ceiling before looking the camera, I figured that if I kept moving, I could outlast all of them. I just had to keep my eye on the ball. Or you could tire yourself out even more, Heather added with a grin. Only to frown at the next scene. Static. Why am I thinking about idiot? Heather tapping her chin with her finger with scowl, I know it's not because some floozy is sleeping on him what is it? Heather crossed her arms with a scowl as they laughed at her. 40 hours later, some of the campers passed out, leaving Eva, Duncan, Naruto, Cody, Courtney and Justin against Beth, Gwen, Trent and Heather. Beth. Heather glanced to see her pass out. Trent attempted to keep Gwen up by asking her more questions. Quick, favorite movie moment? The musician asked. You're gonna think it's cheesy. Gwen said. I promise I won't. Okay, she sighed, the kiss at the end of that road trip movie. You know, one with the guy and 3 girls. Yeah. Trent chuckled, you like that movie? They was about to talk more until sleepwalking nude Owen walked past them, leaving them in shock. The others groaned as they covered their eyes. I did not need to see that, Justin muttered. Imagine seeing it live the first time. Trent muttered. After recovering from the shock that lasted for another 10 hours, Gwen took a glance at Justin before speaking up, look at him, he's like a statue hasn't even moved in over 50 hours. Chris chuckled remembering this trick. Yeah, even Naruto hasn't moved a muscle. Trent pointed out as Naruto stares ahead, maybe it's because Bridget is still sleeping on him. Hello. Gwen waved her hands in Justin's face and Trent joined her, amazing. Look at the concentration she poked Justin, causing him to blink, revealing that he painted fake eyes on his eyelids. He painted his eyelids. I saw it. Chris. Heather gasped, pointing at Justin. Justin chuckled as he shrugged, like he was going to try and miss his beauty sleep and ruin his face. Shut up. Chris gasped before grinned as he ran up to Justin's face, oh, I've got to see this is so freaking cool. But you're still out, dude. Justin sighed before Heather blinks, remembering something. No way wait a minute. Chris. Check Naruto. Heather leaped on her feet and Chris blinked. Earlier tripping, Lashana said. Yeah, his eyes are open, Trent added looking at Naruto's face. Are you blind? His eyes are opened. Duncan yawned as Chris checked Naruto before nod his head. Yeah, he's not sleeping so. Heather cut him off, Naruto can sleep with his eyes open. The group blinked, even Chef and Chris, no way, Chris whispered. Dude, is he for real? Tyler asked. If he is, then I want him to teach me that, Duncan said as they guys nodded. Chris blinked before looked back into the retard's eyes. Chris poked him once, earning a light snore out from Naruto. No freaking way. I take back what I said about Justin's trick, that is so fucking cool. The host rose his hands in air, if Naruto wakes up, tell him he's out. Oh man. Chris cried out with a laugh, I wished something like that had happened here. I'll say, Duncan said, slightly jealous. Confession. I can't believe that I almost forget about that, Heather muttered with her hand on her face, he practiced it when he was in classes. Better reason to do it, Jeff said with a grin. He would totally do the same. Static. Duncan chuckled, that's really handy skill, wonder if he will teach me that. Static. I don't like to study and classes are very boring. Naruto yawned, rubbing his eyes. Another 30 hours went by and Cody just passed out, leaving Eva, Heather, Duncan, Trent and Gwen. Duncan decides to pull a prank on Harold by using hand and cup trick. Oh gross. It works. Dude peed his pant. The nerd wakes to Duncan's shout, only to find his pant wet and gasped in shock as the punk laughed at him. Harold glared at a laughing Duncan. I. Noah and Cody screamed together, causing the slumbering campers to get up with groggily eyes. What happened? Owen asked. Nothing, both boys in question asked. Izzy giggled madly, remember seeing them spooning one another with one kissing the other's ear. Gwen yawned, I'd kill for a coffee right now. What is the matter with you people? Chris walks up with a cup of coffee as if he was mocking them, just fall asleep already. They lasted longer than I expected, Chris admitted and plained. I thought they would have quit way before then. Come on, you got to hook me up, man. Gwen whined as she grabs the host's leg, I'll even eat the grinds. Anything. Fine, you five stay with me, Chris grumbled, the rest of you go and get a shower, for heaven's sake. You stink. Everyone turned and looked at Harold, the said nerd ran off. The campers walk off and they can hear him said something about pop-up book in history. Brent, Gwen, Heather and Duncan groaned remembering Chris's dumb book he read to them. Chris sighed happily, a history of Canada. A pop-up edition. That was the most boring, sleep-endorsing activity I could think of. It was worse than the fairy tales, Duncan muttered. Hey Naruto. Bridget tapped Reed's shoulder, sorry about sleeping on your shoulder. Nah, he didn't mind. Did you sleep well, Bri-chan? Yeah, I did. Bridget nodded, it was so comfy, she thought to herself with a pinkish tint on her face before the surfer blinked. Bri-chan. Oh, someone started out the pet names, DJ teased. So when did the two of you start going out? Jeff asked jokingly, which hurt him a playful slap from the blushing girl. It's your nickname if it's cool with you. I'm cool with it, so you shortened my name and add Chan. He nodded, what's up with Chan? Harold opened his mouth to answer, but Courtney tossed her empty popcorn bucket at him to keep quiet. Oh, it's suffix in Japanese. Chan is used toward girls if they are close friends or lover. Bridget felt her cheek burning at the last part, he mean as good friend. Tsuri he did, DJ added, getting cum chuckled from the guys. Chris chuckled with Chef, I knew this guy would be a laugh. Shame we don't know if he's real or not. Right, she nodded furiously with blush. Both of them never noticed Heather make a snarl, almost making Chris take a step back. Pillar base cabin. Who do you think will be the last one standing? Naruto asked, lying on his top bed after finishing his shower. Cody looked at him before give him a gap-toothy grin, I bet it's Gwen. Dude, she's on the other team. DJ chuckled as the geek sighed. Cody looked embarrassed but knew the crush will fade soon, hoped. Tyler was snoring on his bed while Justin volunteered to go to look for the missing Owen. Justin had a look of horror on his face while Owen giggled sheepishly. It sounds like you have a huge crush on her, Dadabeo. Naruto grinned and Cody rolled his eyes as the Jamaican chuckled again. I would say the same thing with you and Bridget. The geek shot back with a laugh. Oh, he got you there, DJ nodded, also noticing how fast they were getting closer. Bri-chan. We're just friend, Naruto muttered, rubbing his nose. Bri-chan, eh? If Naruto looked down, he would see DJ sticking his head out with a coy look on his face. Cody and DJ shared a fist bump at their double teaming and teasing Naruto. Uo, pet names already? We're just friends, all we did was just talk. Dadabeo. They can see Naruto's face start to matching his hair. Yeah, for almost one whole day and she slept on you. Cody chuckled and Naruto groaned. We're just teasing you, man. DJ laughed. Yeah, Naruto grumbled, it would be weird if someone gets together in just a few days. Some people, yeah, but it may happen to you. Cody pointed out. What do you mean? The Reed asked before Justin walked in the room with disgusted expression on his face. Oh, Justin, did you find Owen? I think I did, Justin said, shivering, and I am pretty sure I wish I didn't. When you told me that Owen was naked, I didn't believe you at first. No, I wish I did, Justin shivered. Having not witnessed the event of sleepwalking, I found him on top of a beaver dam and now he's in the shower with his clothes. That's good. DJ sighed, he was worried about Owen. So what were you talking about? Justin asked out of curiosity. Naruto and Bri-chan. Cody and DJ said in unison with cheesy grins as Naruto buried his head under the pillow with a groan. Oh, do tell. The model smirked. Justin grinned as he also fist bumped Cody and DJ. They were never going to let the new guy live that down. Hey guys, I came here to let you know that Gwen outlasted Duncan by a hair, so it's screaming Gophers victory. Courtney sighed as the boys were coming out of their cabin to check it out. How did you know? Naruto tilted his head to left. I was checking on Duncan since he was the last one of us and I showed up when Chris declared it. Oh, so that means we have to vote. Owen was about to say something before a roar breaks out inside the cabin and the door slammed open. Eva groaned but did not look at anyone. Heather smirked to herself before she was smacked in the back of the head by Eva's popcorn bucket. Who took it? Did you steal it? Eva snarled and everyone blinked. She suddenly barged into the boys' room and tossed everything out through the window. What? Cody stuttered and everyone gulped at her, roaring more. Where is my MP3 player? One of you must have stolen it. Eva snarled, I need my music. No one is going anywhere until I get my MP3 player back. Okay, whoever took it better give it up now before she destroys whole camp. Courtney said to the team. What's an MP3 player? Naruto asked, earning a weird look from his group. He's joking, right? Duncan asked. Hey, guys. Heather walked up with a smile, wow, this place is a real mess. Someone stole Eva's MP3 player. Courtney sighed as Cody explained what it is to Naruto in background. You don't mean this, do you? Heather pulls out the MP3 player, I was wondering who it belonged to. I found it by the campfire pit. The bodybuilder ran up and grabbed it, you must have dropped it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Eva thanked Heather over and over. Sure thing. The queen bee smiled, walk away. Eva growled at the play, seeing as she was made to look like a fool. That's good thing you found it. She can feel someone ruffle her hair from behind and scowled, knowing who it is. Idiot. What did I said? Heather swatting Naruto's hand away and stomped away as Naruto chuckled at her. I'm sorry about that little misunderstanding, Eva chuckled nervously as the team glared at her, guess no one stole it after all. Okay, I just overreacted a little. They kept glared at her. Well, she's out, Courtney said, and Eva figured it would. Bridget gulped, worried Eva would be back and get revenge like last time. Campfire. Welcome to the first campfire ceremony. Chris said as he walks up to the killer base members with a tray of marshmallows. You've all cast your votes and made your decision. There are only 10 marshmallows on this plate. When I call your name, come up and claim your marshmallow. The host chuckled, the camper who does not receive a marshmallow must immediately return to the dock of shame, catches the boat of losers, and leave. You will never come back, ever. And Bridget occurred near toddler just in one by one, the campers took their marshmallow. There was one left and it comes down between Izzy and Eva. This is the final marshmallow of the evening. Eva gulped. Izzy bit her nails. Chris smirked, enjoying the dramatic pause. The group stared at the host, waiting for Chris's announcement. Izzy? Yeah. More time to petting Naruto's whiskers. The redeed paled as Izzy giggled at him. Well, saw that coming, Noah said, making another note. Well, Izzy giggle like well Izzy. Eva, the dock of shame awaits. Chris whispered to Eva with a smug smirk. Eva stood up and turns to her former teammates with a scowl on her face. Nice, really nice, one needs this stupid TV show, anyway. The bodybuilder exploded before walk up to cowering Chris and kicks him in shin on her way. That felt good, Eva admitted. Chris winced at the phantom pain from before. Ow. Have a good night's sleep tonight. Chris muttered in pain before turning his head to the group, you're all safe. Dock of shame. Eva growled as Courtney waved at her from the distance, bye-bye Eva. She snarled before throw a stick at them, causing them to duck under it. A stick is inside the pole. How can it be? Cody cried out of fear and everyone watched her get on the boat before it takes off. I'm just that good, Eva muttered. Well, that was exciting, Chris said as some of the campers went up to refill their snacks, fill back up, and we can started the next one. Cabins. Heather yawned, leaning against cabin and waiting for the base team to show up to make sure that her plan works the way she want it to be. She don't wait long when Naruto showed up. Hey, idiot. Who did your team kick off? Oh, He-chan. Naruto blinked at her appearance, everyone voted for Eva, so she's out. He frowned, you should be going to sleep, Dadabayo. Oh, he worried about you, Lindsay cooed, feeling to chat even if it was for Heather. I was just curious, that's all. Heather yawned again before Naruto's chuckle draw her attention, what's so funny? Nah, I was thinking that maybe the reason why you were up is because you were worried about me. Idiot. I'm not worried about you. Sure you were, Noah said with a smirk at a growling Heather. I know, Knight, He-chan. He waved at her before heading for his cabin, and Heather scoffed. She was about to enter her room before stopped and turned to Naruto with snarl, and stop calling me that. Why can't you listen to me for once? You two acts like a married couple, if you ask me. The queen bee froze up before slowly turned to the person with angry expression. Heather looked stunned at the claim as the other laughed at both the statement and her reaction. Heather turned to Noah and glared at him. Noah. Yes. If you ever say that again, I will kill you, Heather growled as she stomped past Noah into her room. Oh, I'm so scared. Noah rolled his eyes before resuming his night reading. Oh, you should be, Heather snarled, but Noah didn't seem to care. Confession. I have an odd urge to make a betting pool. Noah peeks up from his book, $10 says Naruto will end up with Heather. Static. My little buddy came up with an awesome betting pool and all the guys got in on it. Owen laughed before lifts his index finger in air. I bet 20 on Naru and Bridge because they both are so nice and awesome. Now there's an idea, Noah mused as he went to the back of his notebook and started to make a page for the pool. Owen waved his hand. Oh, I agree with myself. $20 on Naru and Bridge. The guys all grinned before Jeff said, put me for $10 on Bridget. Jeff. Bridget cried out surprised. Don't you want our counterparts to be together? The boy looked at her, well yeah, he admitted. But the thing is, our guys are on different teams so it would be harder to get your attention unlike how we did it. Plus did you see the two of you there? You guys would be awesome together. I'm actually worried that this dude is real and he would steal you from me. Oh, that's so sweet, Bridget said with a smile. Izzy giggled, Izzy has 10 on me with whiskers. Put me down for Bridget as well. DJ added. $10 on Lindsay. Beth cried as she raised her hand. Really? Lindsay asked. Beth nodded, yeah, your girl said she likes someone on the other teams and Naruto would be great as your boyfriend. Oh thanks Beth, Lindsay said before she thought it over, I bet Hannah would be with Naruto. Heather looked at them, what? Lindsay smiled, he is her friend for a long time and you always know longtime friend end up together in TV shows. Those are made up though, Beth whispered. Courtney rolled her eyes at the girl's logic but that did not stop her from betting that he would be with Heather. She glanced at Duncan who was thinking, aren't you going to bet? Duncan shrugged, call it a gut feeling, but I want to wait before I make my bet. Well we have until Naruto gets into an official relationship, Noah stated as he wrote down Justin's bet. No placing any bets when we have a winner. Katie squealed, oh I bet on Sadie. And I bet on Katie, Sadie added. He would look so cute with either one of us. Surprised there, Cody said rolling his eyes before he looked at Noah, put me down for Gwen. Really? Noah asked. Cody shrugged, I doubt my counterpart could get Gwen anyways, so why not? Up the top chef looked at Chris, you aren't getting in on this? Nope, Chris replied, but he had a grin on his face. I'll wait till we have a better chance at winning. Plus you and I can get previews on some of the episodes so. Chef cackled as he fist bumped Chris. Soon no more bets were made as almost all the boys had theirs placed. Some decided to wait until they knew better. Even Heather made a small bet for herself, but that was more personal pride. Noah looked at the list. Besides the bet for Katie and Sadie most were for Heather, Bridget and surprisingly Gwen, followed by Izzy and Lindsay with one each. See them done. Chris played the DVD again. Main lodge. The next day, everyone was tired from the last challenge. Duncan snored on the table before wake up by Chris. Duncan. You look like a crap, man. Chris mocked with a grin. Stuff it. The punk grunted out before snoring on the table. Courtney groaned, Owen farted all night it reeked so badly. The others winced before Duncan muttered, okay I think that is worse than Harold snoring. It's the beans. Owen defended himself with a guilty look on his face. Wow, 4 nights without sleep. How much are you hurting, dude? Want to find out? Duncan snarled, his angry eyes flared at Chris. His teammates duck under the table for their safety. No, it's cool. Chris raised his hands in surrender, but his grin said otherwise. Harold walks into the main lodge with a mustache drawing on his face and everyone snickered before laugh at him as soon as he sat down with Gopher's table. Harold frowned at this, not liking how they were all picking on him for no reason, in his mind at least. Duncan snickers as high-fived Jeff, who was the person who drew it last time. From the look of it he did it there as well. What? Harold asked. Someone messed with your face, dude. Jeff whispered to him before the nerd checked his reflection in the spoon. Sweet statch. I'm a man now. He puffed his chest out. Harold puffed out his chest, but Chef cried out, knock it off wimpy maggot. You are not a man. Who wants to tell him it's just drawing? Naruto whispered to snickering Justin. Hey. Chris shouted to get their attention, everyone, it's Gwen. The Gophers cheered as the goth girls show up at their table. Why are we clapping? Lindsay asked as Courtney sneered at the team. I'm so Tourette can't feel my face, it was last thing Gwen said before she face planted the table. Gwen sighed recalling that and how she hated the next challenge in her tired state. Heather turns to Beth and Lindsay, so let's go over the rules one more time. Number 1, I am the captain of this alliance, so I get to make the rules. Number 2, she waited for them to give her answers. Breaking the rules can result in getting kicked out of the alliance. Lindsay questioned her before Heather nodded. Number 3, I can borrow any of your stuff without asking, but my stuff is strictly off limits. The queen bee smirked and Lindsay tilted her head. That don't seem fair, Lashana stated. It wasn't, Beth added disappointed in herself. Heather smirked here. Even if the alliance didn't work out and Beth betrayed her, she still knew how to play these fools. I don't know about that last rule. That's cool. I can change it. Beth and Lindsay smiled, I can also find someone else to take to the final 3 with me. Heather's subtle threat caused them to change their mind. Lindsay looked at Beth, what would happen if we actually left right then and there? Heather would either have voted off first if possible, Beth said thinking it over, or she would have made our lives even worse for rejecting her. Damn right I would have, Heather muttered. But wanted to have some fun. They nodded as she stands up to face the base team, hey, fishhead. Way to kick out your strongest player. Why don't you just give up now? D-chan, be Nissi or do you want Alpha S51 prank? Heather paled at Naruto's comment. Heather was stunned though the others laughed at this. Dude this guy is awesome. Jeff said. I wonder what that prank is like to get her to react like that, Duncan said. Heather glared at them, but she was wondering the same thing. She shivered hoping it had nothing to do with sumo wrestlers. Okay campers, listen up. Chris clapped his hands, your next challenge begins in 10 minutes and be prepared to bring it. The host leaned into Naruto and whispered, mind telling me about Alpha S51 prank? Sure, when we have time. Naruto grinned. But kid, Chris said with a grin, I hope we get to see more of his pranks in action. Court. The campers stood in the middle of the court. Duncan was last to enter the court before laying down on the bleacher. He noticed that his team was looking at him. Wake me up and it'll be the last thing you do. The punk threatened before passed out. This is all your fault, you know. Courtney glared at Owen with a growl, you and your farts. It's the beans. I can't help it. Owen whined. Really? Owen cried out even if it wasn't his fault it's not my fault. We get it, but you do have a problem most times, Courtney said to the big guy. I'm glad that I'm not on that team, gosh. Harold whispered to Trent. Harold blushed and looked a little sheepish. Chef blows his whistle before growled at them, pay attention, fools. Thank you, Chef. Chris patted the current referee's back. Today's challenge is the classic game of dodgeball. The first rule of dodgeball is. Noah cut him off with a smirk, do not talk about dodgeball. You did set yourself up for that one, Chris, Noah said as they snickered again at the joke. Christ frowned while even Chef had a grin at his expense. Some of the campers snickered as Chris frowned at the bookworm before plastered the grin on his face. As I was saying, if you get hit with a ball the host throws the ball with all of his strength. Erg. Noah cried as the ball hit his family jewels. Chris chuckled at the bookworm's agony. Noah winced again as did the other guys. Chris laughed, what was it you said before? Oh right, you set yourself up for that one. You're out. Chris continued with a grin, acting like he didn't just hit someone in groin. It's officially had you, Noah whined out in pain as Jeff throws the ball back at the host, who catches it with his hands. If you catch the ball, the thrower is out and the catcher gets to bring in another team member out on the court. Chris pulls his arm back, okay now, Tyler, try to hit me. The ball flew into the jock's hands before Chef tossed the host another ball. If you're holding a ball, you can use it to deflect a ball. But if it knocks the ball out of your hands, you're out. So what do I do again when the ball comes at me? Lindsay asked before Tyler throws the ball at Chris. Lindsay hummed here as she started to think, did something happen here cause I think something did. You get hit hard, Heather reminded her wishing she was the one breaking Lindsay's face. You dodge. The host yelled, deflects the ball to Lindsay and hit her in face. The campers gasped and Chris groaned, ooh-oh, you were supposed to dodge the ball. Alright. Lindsay slowly gets up on her feet with a bump on her forehead. You have 1 minute until game time. Chris turns to the Gophers team, Gophers, you have to sit one person out each game. Okay, we can't get lazy. Heather said, the killer base are gonna be trying extra hard to catch up. Who wants to sit the first one out with Sleeping Beauty here? She jabbed her thumb at Sleepy Gwen. I'll volunteer. Noah, step up, it would be perfect time to get more campers on the betting pool. Now let's see all you keeners get out there and dodge. Well, we know who will get voted off this time, Duncan said. He remembered that Noah did not play at all and got kicked off for it and for his comments. But he could understand the guy's reason this time if it meant more people in the betting pool. Not necessary, Harold stated. You're forgetting the winner of the dodgeball game is now a Gopher. And you're forgetting a few more details, Duncan shot back. You guys lost some big heavy hitters. We now have Owen who is a killer at this game and Cody surprised everyone with a few moves of his own that day. And let's not forget me there and I'm sure Naruto will be a big game changer. Not to mention you are the worst thrower on any team. Harold scowled but the others looked at one another. Duncan's theory made sense on several levels. Still it seems like the killer base were going to win this one for different reasons. Izzy groped Naruto with a grin, here Ed. Want to make it more interesting? Would? The retard gulped. Oh boy, Trent said worried for the guy while Izzy giggled like crazy, all excited. If I get one out with a ball, I get to pet your whiskers without any resistance. The more players I get out, the more chances I get to play with your whiskers. Izzy gasped before she jumped in her seat, yes 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 yes. Poor fool, Duncan said looking at Izzy, he'll never survive. Naruto paled and before he could turn it down, Chris popped up right behind him with a sadistic grin. That's a good idea. I approve it. The host chuckled and Izzy cheered. If he plays it right, there will be a lot of drama soon and everyone know that love lines always bring drama which mean more ratings. Chris laughed and high-fived Chef. Oh, I would totally do that. Confession. Ooh. Naruto cried as he clutches his head. Round 1. Chef glanced at the sides as the players entered the zone. Izzy, Courtney, Tyler, Cody, and Owen went up first against Heather, Lindsay, Lashana, Harold, and Katie. Duncan scoffed, okay, easy win for us this round. Excuse me? Lashana said looking at the punk with hands on her hips and brow raised. Duncan rolled his eyes, the only ones worth mentioning on your side are you and Heather. The rest are easy picking. Have you forgotten my mad skills are on the other side? Harold asked smiling. Duncan scoffed, please you are just going to bomb again. Bring it on, fishes. Heather teased, otherwise winning 2 in a row just won't be as satisfying. Oh, you're going down. Tyler shot back, we're gonna to bring the dinner to the table, and then we're gonna eat it. Tyler blushed here as the others shook their heads or looked confused. Naruto turns to Justin with blank expression, what? The model shrugged, he also doesn't understand it at all. Both teams ready? Chris shouted out, best of 5 games wins. Now let's dodge some ball. As soon as he finished his sentence, Chef blows his whistle harder to start the game and both of the teams pick up their balls, 3 each. Time to unleash my wicked skills. Harold cried but for no reason, he just spiked the ball on the floor. It bounced a few times before rolls to Izzy's feet. I rest my case, Duncan stated to the scowling Harold. Have you ever played this game before, String Bean? Lashawna snarled before Tyler throws the ball at the team, but it hit DJ. Tyler groaned while DJ patted his back, not at all bother from the hit his counterpart gotten. Sorry. Tyler shouted out as the ball slammed into his stomach. Heather was the one who got him out of the game. Courtney snarled as she chucked the ball at Harold and it hit him in face, evening the number. Ooh-oh. That'll leave a mark. Chris laughed. Katie throws her ball and it flew toward Cody, the said geek ducks under it as it hit the wall before bounced back. Can someone remind me what I'm supposed to do with this again? It was all Lindsay can ask before the ball slammed into her cheek, giving her a second bruises in process. Ooh, Lindsay winced seeing the hit and fearfully saw the bruise. That left a mark, Gwen muttered. She's beautiful, even if she get bruises I'm so going to confess to her soon. Tyler whispered to Naruto as he sends a wave to the bombshell, who just returned it back with a smile. Naruto chuckled at the jock. Tyler grinned as he waved at Lindsay who smiled and waved back. Really? That's brave of you, Dadabeo. The Redeed patted Tyler's back, good luck. The ball flew into Tyler's groin. Mommy, he groaned. What the hell was that? Courtney growled, ref. He's even not on the court. Chef glanced at Heather, the said girl claimed that she slipped so he let it pass for now. Courtney gritted her teeth, ugh. Courtney growled out at the play while Heather smirked at the girl. Chris whispered to Chef, did you really believe that? Nope, but it was only one time so we can let it slide for more drama. Chris laughed, good man, good man. Watch out. Cody cried out and Courtney blinked. What does he mean by that? Her eyes widened, she forget that she was still game, but it was too late, the ball hit her in back. That's how we roll. Lashawna chuckled as the sit take her place with a scowl. The sister was about to brag more, but the ball and gut stopped her from doing it. Free whisker time. Izzy cheered as Naruto groaned in his hands. Yeah. Izzy cried out before she paused thinking, whisker time? Sound cool. I want my own whisker time. Poor boy, Lashawna said feeling pity for the one that held Izzy's affections. Katie fired back, managed to get Izzy out and before the sweet girl can celebrate, the ball hit her on the leg. Damn it, Heather scowled as Owen and Cody grinned at her. Easy out, guys, easy out. Courtney cheered to her teammates and Heather glanced at her with sneer until she noticed something. Naruto was laughing with Bridget before he ruffled her hair and she playful smacked him an arm. Izzy groped Naruto and started to rub his whiskers, causing him to purr as Bridget giggled at them. Bridget blushed slightly seeing how much she was getting along with Naruto. Sure, she figured they were friends, but thinking of how several of the campers, even Jeff, thought they would be great as a couple. Heather scowled, not wanting to see that. Confession. Heather glared at the camera with angry sneer on her face, this idiot. Moronic, Raymond addicting, foolish idiot. She crossed her arms in front and kept ranting for a while, why is he getting too close with these hussies? She paused, and why did it bother me? Hey. Bridget cried out, not liking how Heather talked about her. Heather paid no mind though she did scowl as the others snickered at her counterpart's reaction. Cody threw the ball at Heather and with a loud snarl, she grabbed the ball with one hand before throw it at Owen, sent him flying out. The snickers stopped as they looked stunned while Owen and Cody gulped. Oh Owen. Cody gulped before screaming out in pain as the ball slammed into his groin. Heather snarled again and stomped past snickering Chris before sit down with her teammates. Humor you, Jeff was about to ask, only to cut off as Heather growled. Maybe it's better to stay clear of her for now. Okay, she's mad, Jeff whispered. Duh, DJ whispered, frightened of the scowling Heather, though she had a sense of pride of her counterpart's actions. Oh my. Chris chuckled, first round goes to the Gophers. Round 2. Come on, guys, we can do it. Naruto clapped his hands to pump up his team spirit. Yeah, we better. Courtney muttered before turns to Tyler with a glare, you better not mess it up again. It was just a warm-up throw. Look, I can dominate this game. The jock said, just give all of your balls to me. And how well did that work out for us? Courtney asked. Hey, I got one out. Tyler pointed out. Plus it will be different this time. Chef blows his whistle again and Courtney sighed, fine, just try to aim for the other side, okay? Noah, you're up. Heather said after finally calmed down. You know, you guys did such an awesome job on the last game that I don't want to mess up your mojo. Noah said before go back to his book and Heather raised one of her eyebrows. Beth volunteered to take Noah's place. You did kinda screwed up here, Cody pointed out, to which Noah sighed. The two teams take their sides, Beth, Lindsay, Trent, Katie, and Sadie against Bridget, Tyler, Izzy, Owen, and Naruto. The odd thing about Killer Base team is that Tyler has all of the balls in his arms, causing the screaming Gophers to be little uneasy about what he is up to. The jock starts to spinning around and the balls flew everywhere. Hey. Watch the face, dude. Chris shouted as he ducks under the stray ball and Chef grunted out as the ball hit his face. The Gophers on the bleacher jump out as another stray ball flew to it before the final one hit Lindsay in face again. Wow, Courtney deadpan at Tyler, just like last time too. And ooh. Tyler cried, not believing that he just hit his crush and ran up to help her up. Finally. Courtney rolls her eyes. Oh my gosh, my face. Lindsay winced as she touches her face, accepting Tyler's hand and asked him, how's my face? Tyler held his gasp back and winced inside of her bruised face before give her a nervous smile, it's really not that bad. You still look great. Really? Lindsay frowned slightly seeing how bad her face looked, but Beth whispered to her, he just still finds you very pretty even with the bruises. Yeah, really? He nervously chuckled, never noticed the fact that Trent just tosses the ball at him and gets him out of the game. Courtney face palms at the scene and Naruto chuckled before he noticed his jock friend asked the bombshell to go for a walk. Good luck, dude. The Redeed winked to Tyler and he returned it with thumb up. Tyler smiled as DJ said, he's a really nice guy. Shame we never had him on the show. Hey. Get back here. Heather shouted out to Lindsay, you are so close to being out of the alliance. Really? Lindsay asked, but Beth shook her head and the bombshell frowned. They go, let's show them we mean business, Dadabeo. Naruto grinned at Owen as they grabbed their balls. Oh yeah, here we go, Duncan grinned ready to see the big man and Naruto in action. Let's do it, buddy. Owen roared, game on. He throws one of his balls and it hit Katie and Sadie at once, his second ball hit Beth in stomach. Not bad. Now it's my turn. Naruto chuckled before throw the ball at Jeff, the party boy's eyes widened before the ball slammed into his face, knocking him out. Trent gulped as Naruto smirked at him, sorry Trent. The Redeed throws the ball harder and the musician ducked under it as it soared over his head. You missed. Trent was about to saying something, but he hears a sound of the ball bounced off the wall behind him before he turns around to see the ball hitting him in forehead. God. Trent winced seeing the hit, I'm going to feel that in the morning. Gwen nodded with a wince as well, yeah, that looked like it hurt. Hey, campers, look. Chris chuckled, that one's worth an instant replay. The campers looked at him showing them the footage of Jeff. He played it over and over again to show how badly it was when the ball hit him in the face, forward pause. The host chuckled, that's gonna leave a mark, it's 1-1 now. Oh come on Chris. Trent cried out to the chuckling host. Owen and Naruto high-fives each other as the Killer Base team cheered. Oh, I didn't get anyone out this time. Izzy pouted. Ooh. Izzy shouted. I want my whisker time. Round 3. The third round starts as the players entered, Lashana, Katie, Jeff, Beth, and Sadie against Courtney, Owen, Izzy, Justin, and DJ. DJ, give me your ball. Izzy wants her whiskers time. Naruto paled as a chuckling DJ passes the ball to the crazy girl. Oh dude. Jeff laughed as did several other guys. That is just plain mean. DJ shrugged, I think more of it is helping a girl out. Yeah. Izzy cheered wanting to see the end. Izzy launched them at once and managed to get Sadie and Beth out. Yes. 2 free passes. I think I'm doomed, Naruto sighed, earning some snickers from his teammates. They kept watching the game as Lashana finally get Owen out, following by Izzy after she got Katie out. Oh, team, go. You can do it. Noah mumbled, uninteresting in the game as his team glared at him. Jeff throws his ball and Courtney ducked with a smirk, but the second ball wiped her smirk off. Woohoo. Lashana laughed before dodged a ball from DJ and the giant were hit by the ball, leaving Justin in the game. Not the face, please. Justin grinned, causing Lashana to swooning and Jeff rolls his eyes before get the model out. Now it's 2-1 in Gopher's favor. Dang, Courtney muttered. At least it wasn't as bad as last game, Duncan pointed out. We had to win 3 in a row for the win. Hey, it's 2-1. Heather called out to base team, how does it feel to suck so much? It's not over. Courtney yelled back before turns to her team, okay, this is really bad. One more game and we lose the whole challenge, again. She stood up with hands on her hip, we can't let that happen, people. I know we have strong players, but we need someone meaner, someone who can crush these stupid Gophers into the dirt. Everyone looks at snoring Duncan before DJ shakes his head, if we wake him up, he'll kill us. Duncan shrugged, not caring so much now. He just hoped they didn't try to point him with a stick again. He knew it was Harold's idea in the first place. He won't kill us, guys. Courtney sighed, he wants to win too. Courtney's right. Cody nodded, we need him to win this. Bank, Cody, no, wake him up. Cody screamed in fright, are you crazy? He'll kill me. The geek paled, me. Courtney nodded, no way, I'm not doing it. I like to live. Well, who's gonna wake him up? Courtney growled and everyone gulped, fine, I have a plan. Someone find the long stick so we can poke him. Duncan raised a brow, slightly stunned before looking at Courtney, who was not looking him in the eyes. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Someone speak up, I don't like to be poked. Then how can we wake up? Courtney slowly trailed off as everyone turned to face a waking Duncan, weren't you just Slee? Naruto just woke me up. He just told me what you need me for. The punk grunted. Duncan grunt, but he had to praise the guy for manning up actually. Wait, did you kill DJ? Gulped. Nah, I'm still alive. Naruto chuckled and DJ sighed with relief. He'll play on one condition. You what I say when I say it. Duncan demanded and Courtney nods, okay, here's a strategy I picked up during my first visit to Juvie. It's called Rush the New Guy. Never fails, Duncan sighed. Round 4. Duncan chooses Courtney, Izzy, DJ, and Naruto to join him on the court as they go against Lashana, Katie, Beth, Trent, and Gwen. Chef blow his whistle and Beth throw her ball, followed by Lashana's ball. The killer base players dodge them and in an instant, Izzy collected them before tossed them over to Duncan and Courtney. 4 of them throw the balls at once, all of them knock Lashana out. Way to go, guys. Bridget cheered from sideline. The base team repeated their plan, earning them an easy win and ended up in a tie. Izzy turns to Chris with puzzled expression on her face. Hey Chris. If we hit them at same time, do I still get more whisker time? Yeah, you do if your ball was in the group. Chris snickered, ignoring Naruto's shout, and Izzy cheered. Oh, that is just mean, Bridget said, but Chris was laughing up a storm. Come on, a little effort out there, people. Noah mumbled before his teammates glared at him harder. Noah groaned knowing he was not going to hear the end of this. I think that we should do the same thing all over again. Courtney said, so who wants to sit out this time? I will. DJ raised his hand and Cody volunteered to take his place. Not that Noah here cares, the queen bee speak to her team, but we are not going to lose this challenge to these guys, get it? She paused before snarled, and where is Lindsay? Oh, I'm here. Lindsay cried out. In the show, Heather explained, slowly getting a headache. Ooh, Lindsay said, getting it. I'm probably making out with Tyler. Tyler fist pumped but paused seeing the screen. I'm here. Heather blinked before turns to Lindsay. Oh, just sit down and stay there. The bombshell nodded as she sits down. Naruto blinks before looking at Tyler sitting down on the bleacher with saddened expression. Tyler froze as his pupils shrunk in fright. No. Lashana winced, I don't think it went well. The others shook their heads, not sure what happened. They were all stunned and wondered what happened. They wonder what just happened between Lindsay and the jock. Deed noticed that Courtney walked up to the jock and snarled, where were you? Nowhere. You were with this blonde gopher girl, weren't you? Nah, made Tyler sighed and Courtney was about to grill him more, but Naruto throws his arm around her and moves her away. Hey Courtney. The game is about to start. Naruto glanced out of corner of his eyes to see Tyler send a grateful nod to him. Tyler smiled, glad at least his guy had someone watching his back. Hey, what are you doing? Courtney cried out of frustration. Round 5. Okay, that is it, the final tie-breaking game. Chris announced to the camera, we have Gwen, Heather, Lashana, Harold, and Jeff playing for the Screaming Gophers team. He swings his arm to other side, going against Cody, Courtney, Naruto, Duncan, and Bridget playing for the Killer Base team. Harold smirked, and here is where I pull a victory. Duncan just dumped his popcorn on top of the nerd's head. Go, team, go, Noah cheered with dull tone. Go, team, go. Woo-hoo. Owen roared with glee tone. Gophers, base, let's send this sample to the lab and see what you're made of. Chris said with grin. What sample are we talking about here? DNA? Naruto turns to the host with widened eyes. Chris had an annoyed look on his face, he had to ruin my moment. I like him more than ever. Chef added with a grin. Just start the damn game, Chris deadpanned and chuckling. Chef blow his whistle for the final round. Fast feet, fast hands. Heather ordered her team as they grabbed their balls and throws it around. The results are that there were a lot of dodges, outs, and switching players. Knock them out, knock them out. Noah said, he was the only one that doesn't play his turn of all. Ow. He cried as a stray ball hit him out of his seat. Was necessary? Noah could not help but ask. Yes, Heather replied, glad her counterpart actually got the bookworm back. I guess sports aren't your forte. Heather smirked it down. Noah as Gophers laughed at him. Yes. Gwen cheered as she finally got Courtney out and Lashana laughed with her. Oh, you messed with the wrong white girl. The ball hit her in face, sends her back to the bleacher. You were saying? Heather asked. Oh shut it. Lashana shot back. I don't see you winning this game by yourself. No one knows how long it has been going on for, but now it's down to the final player for each team. Chris smirked as he looks at Harold and Naruto before whispered to the referee, hey chef, bet you $50 that the Redeed wins it. I'm no fool. I know better not to bet against you. Why not? Harold asked surprised at their statement. Can't you see that I am going to win this like last time? Noah got his notebook ready waiting, but not before Duncan said, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Harold smirked at him, agreed, $20 as I win with my mad skills. I'm going to enjoy seeing you get beaten way more than I should. The host pouted, why does he always have to be a killjoy? Come on Harold. Trent cheered him on. Sweet dream, princess. Duncan laughed. Bring it on. Harold throws his kung fu moves around and beckoning Naruto with his hand. The Redeed shakes his head before throws a few of his balls at the nerd and he dodged them with fancy footwork, even pulling out a matrix. Whoa. Noah gasped, dropping his book in his shock. Old yay, gloated Harold as he extended his hand for his money. Duncan shook his head, not over yet geek, keep watching. Oh, you get some sweet moves, dude. Naruto chuckled as he tosses his ball up and down, where did you learn it from? Figure skating. The nerd answered. Ah, somehow odd but yet useful but sorry, but Naruto's eyes hardened with determination, I'm not going to let my team lost another challenge, I promise you, Dadabeo. Uh-oh. Heather gasped in horror. Now what? Lashana asked. Confession. Knowing this idiot, if he makes any promises she always fulfills them no matter what. Heather sighed, looks like it is going to be the nerd's funeral. Duncan smirked at Harold who did not look worried at all. Naruto gives Harold a sadistic grin, let's see if you can dodge that. He pulls his arm back and swinging his body forward, dodge. The ball flew at high speed, giving Harold no chance to react before it hit him in stomach. The nerd screamed in terror as he flew with it and hit the wall before slide down slowly, leaves him whining in pain. Everyone was on the edge of their seats waiting. Harold however crossed his arms pleased with himself knowing he caught the ball. The ball innocently rolls out off Harold and kept rolling until it comes to Naruto's feet. The geek gapped at the screen while the crowd cheered and Duncan chuckled and leaned over the frozen geek, I think I win. The killer base team cheered as Naruto walked back to them with huge grin, nice throw, Whisker. Duncan chuckled as the base lifted Naruto in air and carry him away. Gophers, what happened? Chris asked them with a chuckle. The loser got himself killed. Duncan replied with a laugh. That is until Lashana reached over and smacked his head. What can I say? Noah shrugged, weak effort. Aw, shut it. Gwen snarled and stomped away. For once, I agree with weird goth girl. Heather scoffed before everyone walk away from Noah with the boys. Touchy. Noah rolls his eyes before look at his male teammates, what? I'm telling you, the team spirit here is severely lacking lately. Dude, Jeff snickered, you are just making your grave bigger. Yeah, Noah muttered. Campfire. Pampers, you've already placed your votes and made your decision. Chris said as he holds up the tray with marshmallows. One of you will be going home and you can't come back either. When you hear me call out your name, come pick up a marshmallow. The host cleared his throat before he called them out. When Gfkadia betrent Felicianalensis 81 by 1, the said campers pick up their marshmallows and stood behind Chris. It comes down to Harold and Noah for the final marshmallow. The final marshmallow goes to Harold. Everyone replied at once. Noah sighed as he made a note of both how the game and the changes and of the vote. Harold starts to sweat. Noah smirked, not worried about it since Harold plays so poorly at the game. The campers glared at a certain person. Harold. The said nerd cheered, running up to get his marshmallow and take his place as Noah dropped his jaw in shock. Why so shocked? Heather asked tauntingly. Harold did bad as did our guys last time. How would I expect anything else? You left all to fend for ourselves while you did nothing, Gwen reminded him. I think we can forgive bad playing more than you not doing anything at all. Noah sighed, not wanting to get into this debate. Wait. Are you kidding me? Noah yelled before give out a sigh, alright, see if I care. Good luck because you just voted out the only one with any brains on this team. The bookworm's comment earned him a barrage of marshmallows, ow. You need to learn a little thing called respect, turkey. Lashana angrily muttered as she dusts off her hands. Whatever, I'm outta here. Noah said, walking to the dock of shame and step into the boat before it takes off. Lake. Did you enjoy your meats? Naruto grinned at the sharks as they nodded back to him. The Redeed chuckled, tossing them some of meats before he felt someone tackle him from behind. Whisker time. Naruto's eyes widened as Izzy's hands rubbed his whiskers, causing him to purr. Yeah. Izzy cried before she paused and pouts. Ah, I don't have any whiskers to have whisker time with. Thank goodness, Owen muttered as he finished another candy bar. Oh, stop. Izzy giggled, shaking her head. Nope. Naruto sighed at her, why are you doing that? The crazy girl tilted her head with a lopsided grin before she giggled. Dunno. It's fun to play with your whiskers and it's cuter when you purring. I like you. Owen pouts while the others looked at the crazy girl stunned at the claim. For some reason, Izzy's answer made Naruto's face redor. It was because she kept rubbing his cheeks. There, I used up 2 of 17 passes. See you later. Izzy giggled, disappeared into the wood. Naruto sighed in facepalm, blaming the host in his head for giving Izzy a bonus mission. He turns to the smirking sharks and rolled his eyes at them. Yeah, laugh it up, you guys. At least they're amused. Chris chuckled. I am so glad my guy made sure that deal was made. So much wonderful drama to enjoy. Filler base cabin. Tyler sighed, he was still wide awake and it was late at night. The jock kept rewinding the memory in his head over and over. The jock and the bombshell walked to the shore, they were talking about random things and were having a good time. They sat down on the sand and watched the waves as they roll in before Tyler speaks up. Lel Lindsay. The jock rubbed his neck and she turned her head to him. Yes, Tabor. Lindsay smiled. Who's Tabor? Lindsay asked Beth. You got Tyler's name wrong here. Really? Lindsay scratched her head, that doesn't seem right. Tyler didn't mind the fact that she got his name wrong, since she always gets everyone's name wrong. I have something to tell you. The jock takes a deep breath and stuttered. I like you. Lindsay's eyes widened and she turned to him. You're really beautiful and a sweet girl, you really treat everyone with kindness and never treat anyone different because of their appearance. The jock said, recalling how well she gets along with Beth and Gwen. Tyler, that's so sweet, Lindsay cooed and Tyler smiled at her. That is cool, he never went out with the beautiful girls since they always treat other people like outcasts and that's why he was still single, because he used to be an outcast before he got into sport. Lindsay tried to speak up, but Tyler continued on with his confession. The reason why I fall for was because of your personality. I know it's out of blue, since we don't talk a lot. I just want to tell you that I like you. Everything's going good, DJ noticed, what went wrong? Yeah man, Jeff added, you did everything right. Tyler frowned, scared to hear the reason. Lindsay bit her lip before put her hand on his shoulder. I'm happy that you feel like that, but I'm sorry. The jock's heart just fell. You're a really nice guy and any girl would be lucky to have you because I can tell that you're also loyalty thing is thoughty like someone else. Lindsay gave Tyler a hug. I like you as a friend and I think you're really brave for telling me about your feelings. I'm sorry and I hope that this don't change our friendship. Brent whistled, tough break man. Tyler sighed. He felt bad for his counterpart as he did not know what he would do if that happened to him. Lindsay looked at him concerned. Tyler gave her a sad smile. Nah, it doesn't change anything thanks. I'm going back. Are you? Tyler shakes his head. Nah, I'm going to stay here for a bit, but I'll be right there. Lindsay nodded before giving him a hug again and walked back to the court. He sat there for a few minutes before he followed her. Tyler turns to his side and hugged his pillow, fighting back the tears in his eyes. The jock's eyes slowly closed and before he knows it, he was in deep sleep. The screen went black as they stared at Lindsay and Tyler, surprised at this. Noah made another note but wondered who this guy that Lindsay was interested in. Beth raised her hand and cried, double my bet for Naruto and Lindsay. What if Total Drama Island reaction Naruto end here and thanks for watching my video till the end.